She knew he wasn't human though, because if he was
No, she
human,
didn't.
yes, she did.
No, she didn't.
Because
Then why would he have to hide the bullet marks? Why would he have to say like, "Hey, we don't have sex. That's how she knows I'm
that's
not a fucking
why
70."
that's why she knew he wasn't human. Is because he ain't got a rod for 30 years, dude. So she knew he wasn't human.
Dude, he finger blasted her at least.
No, he didn't do shit, dude.
He knows. He searched the internet. He's a computer. He's a learning computer. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. We are doing a commentary, which is not normally on a Friday. We typically do these live on Wednesdays. Todd got sick, long story short, and we bumped it to tonight, which is Friday. And it's a very, very special episode of Life Goes On where Corky is taken advantage of by some bullies at school, preying upon his ailments. You guys remember Life Goes On? Is that a dated reference?
That's pretty dated.
Remember, in the theme song was a version of "Oh blah dee, oh blah da,
Oh
life
yeah,
goes
yeah.
on, blah." Oh, we're gonna get
That's a great song.
demonetized. But
Yeah,
oh,
bleep
but that
that out.
woo. Anyway, no, we're doing Terminator Dark Fate, and I wanted to do Dark Fate because
I've never seen it.
no, well, yeah, he hadn't seen it, but I liked the discussion we had with Alien Romulus a lot. And I liked the topic of taking a franchise that's obviously beloved. It's obviously storied, but
Is the
it's obviously
franchise beloved other than the first two?
I would say so. It's a franchise.
Really?
Whether you like it or not, it's a franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alien has, dude, comic book, Dark Horse comic books, the AVP spin-off books,
I
video games,
yeah, I was talking
arcades.
about the movies. Yeah,
It's a
I understand that.
franchise, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
It's toys. It's everything. It's a franchise. That's what a franchise is.
No, I
And
understand what you're
and
saying.
I'm like, what's another movie that's a franchise that's contentious? It's well past its years
Polarizing.
and stars an old bitch that looks like John Bon Jovi.
Yeah. You got that right. Did you think about that before, or did you
No,
just
it
notice it
was
when I
funny because
posted it?
people on your thumbnail, people are like, "What does John Bon Jovi have to do with this?"
He
And
looks exactly like
I'm like, well, it's there's two of them. Look, they're both there. I'll be back anyway. Terminator Dark Fate. Todd had never seen it, and I told him, I said, "Look, you should watch it because here's the thing. I treat these just like the Alien spiel. I treat everything past the first one. Same thing with Hellraiser as fan fiction. I can't let the studios milking a great movie and a great idea and a great IP for profit let it ruin the original. I can't allow it because I know it's just greed that does it. I have to like separate all that, and that's why I still think Hell. To me, there are no Hellraiser sequels. They're not. They're
no, let's stop.
fan
Let's talk
fiction.
about Terminator.
Look, there are no real aliens. I mean, there are alien sequels, but the only one that matters is the first one. Anyway, if you leave your brain at the door and you don't get too married to this shit like a fucking geek, you can take some enjoyment out of stuff. Just laugh about it, right? That's why I like Alien Resurrection. I'm like, Todd thinks it's dumb, but I'm like, look, this is fucking stupid, but it's funny. You got Ron Perlman, you got Ripley playing basketball. It's really stupid. You got
That was dumb, dude. I did
but
like
but
Romulus, though. I'll give you that.
but I don't care. I don't take it that seriously. So this is I told him, I said, watch this movie. This is an interesting one because 2 year just a year, like a couple of years before this, they rebooted it with Genesis. And they were setting up a new trilogy. It bombed. And then literally it was like, we're gonna reboot it again. Like we just rebooted it. Like you think Halloween starts over fat? No, this was like this came out faster than the sequel to Genesis would have come out. It was nuts. But that's because the rights reverted back to James Cameron Skydance Productions. So he was back into the fold and he produced this. He wrote this. And while Tim Miller, Deadpool, on the last episode, I was mixing him up with Alan Taylor, who directed Genesis. I was fucking confusing the two reboots. Tim Miller of Deadpool directed this, but it was sort of a poltergeist situation where basically it sounds like James Cameron directed it. Like, they had their war of words. I don't think they want to work together anymore. It was contentious. And it basically sounds like from Tim Miller that, yeah, this guy was fucking breathing down my neck every 2 seconds and he didn't let me fucking have any control over anything. So
Well, let's start it. I mean, this is 2 fucking hours long.
Yeah, that's a fucking that's like a 2023 80 minutes, Todd. We were talking about this the other day. It's like that's like the new 90 minutes.
Hey, I'm fucking old, man. Give me a break.
You're the one that makes us do it this late. You're the one that makes us do it this late.
Well, maybe
I
I'll
would do
try.
it
Maybe I'll
earlier.
try for 10 o'clock next time.
Oh, 30 minutes. I would do it. I would 100% do it.
Okay, I
I'm
didn't know.
always really
You're
tired.
always talking about you have to work late, so I'm trying to
I
help
don't
you
work
out.
till fucking this late. The max I
8?
ever work, I work till 6:30
All right,
max.
let's start it. Let's start it.
I could have started 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago.
Okay, okay.
All right.
Keep that in
Anyway,
mind.
guys, pull it up. I don't know where you're gonna
I'll
watch it, but
I'll
hopefully you
keep
have a
that in
copy.
mind.
We're gonna go in 3, 2, 1. Play. I'll be back. All right. So yeah. Anyway, I'm a little amped up because I'm trying to be awake, so I don't want to be tired, man.
No, you're
Because
good,
if
man.
I
You're
don't do it,
good.
I'm
No
gonna be
worries.
tired, man. So anyway, Todd had never seen this, and I said he should watch it because if you just leave your brain at the door, this is Jim Cameron's reboot.
Yeah.
This is his Halloween H40 where it's like we're just going to acknowledge the first two, everything else in between. There's like a million timelines. There's like the 1 and 2 that goes into 3 timeline. There's the Genesis timeline and now there's this timeline. It's like Halloween. But this is like the official and so it's very paint by numbers. You've seen this before. They basically take Terminator 1 and 2 and kind of tell the same story, a little bit of A and B. So there's different kinds of bad in my opinion. There's Children of the Living Dead bad.
Yeah.
That's just literally technically a bad movie. And then there's movies like this that people will shit on it because of what it lives up to. It's standing on the shoulders of giants, and it's just derivative. Like it's telling the same story, but it's a story that we do like. So it's not a bad film to follow narratively, and it's fun to shit on and just kind of have fun with and joke about. But it's told well. It's not hard to grasp. It's a by the numbers. I have to point something out, guys. Did you guys? And I didn't notice this. I didn't notice this until I watched it this last time for the commentary a couple nights ago. This is produced and backed by Tencent. Did you guys see that?
Who's 10 cent?
Tencent is one of the biggest fucking companies in the world tied to the CCP, and they're buying up all these American companies and
Really?
funding. Yeah, they're super controversial, and I didn't really they weren't on my radar when I saw this in theaters, so that's why I didn't notice it before. But I
Mm.
saw it this time, like fucking Tencent, like the fact that James
So
Cameron
so
would
the
work.
commies are producing this now.
Yeah, Tencent's evil, dude.
Huh.
They're trying to buy up fucking American game studios, movie studio. They're just they're evil. Do your research on Tencent. And there's so many people that are selling their soul. The fact any American companies that are actually doing business and selling off to Tencent and they're buying land up. They're one of these fucking corporations that's buying up you.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're fucking evil. And people can't say no to the money, man. And it's just they're so when I saw that, I'm like, that left a sad taste in my mouth. Okay, so Todd doesn't think this future looks bad. Look, it's not as cool as the nighttime, but I think it looks fine. It's just dusk. It's not night like you're used to seeing in the first couple of movies when they show the flashbacks. But it's fine. It's obviously CGI.
Do
It's
you have
not
your
going to be
2,000,000 sunblock on? Because 'Cause I'm having a pretty fucking bad day.
yeah. Okay, hold on. So the thing that's bad about this movie is it's just offensive to the original franchise. Okay, so we're immediately after T2. Sarah Connor, we got deep fake PlayStation 3 Sarah Connor
Yeah.
with John Connor from PlayStation 3 in Guatemala. And they're like, oh, everything's great. And then all of a sudden, PlayStation 3 Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yeah.
comes up out of nowhere.
He looks terrible, dude.
Watch, and he's gonna gun down. When I saw this, I was like, I cannot believe
That
they
looks
fucking did
nothing
this.
like him, dude.
Well, it looked like a PlayStation 3, Eddie. I couldn't
Look
believe
how
that they
ripped he is. I mean, look at those veins, dude. Arnold hasn't had those veins in since the '80s.
this is not dude, what are you talking about? This is supposed to be in 1991 or 2 or what is this or whenever the
I'm
first
saying the '80s.
dude, Arnold looked like are you fucking you don't notice another man's veins, bro? He looked
Arnold
like
didn't
that?
have these veins, dude.
Oh, he had a big thick vein if you know what I'm
No,
talking about,
that
where it
was
counted
that was
big
pumping
time.
iron. You're thinking about pumping iron. You're not
No,
thinking
no, no, no,
about
no. He had more veins because
in T2 he had veins.
fun fact, Arnold had to cut. Yeah, he was veiny, bro.
All right,
He he
Mendoza,
he had
settle
to
this debate.
look, listen, he
He
had to
knows
cut.
veins. I know
No,
that.
listen, he did this for Hollywood. So in the first Terminator, he was real big, but he legitimately, for roles going after like the first Terminator, he decided to lean up and cut and become more chiseled. So he's more cut, right? But he's veinier. He's got more vitality in them fucking bones. Don't tell me about the veins. I know the veins.
I know Stallone has the veins. I mean, he's the king of the veins.
All right, so let's get back to the heart of the matter here. They just gunned down Edward Furlong. I was shocked that they actually paid Edward Furlong for that role. They brought him in to do motion capture for that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Why? I wouldn't have.
No, no.
Do you really think you needed Eddie for that performance?"
You can use some
They
sort of
they used
yeah.
a kid and they fucking deep faked a face over the kid. And did they I don't know if they just used they already have his likeness. Did they bring him in just to get some expressions? I don't know. I was blown away that they actually but when this movie came out originally, all the pre-screening, early screening leaks started coming out.
Yeah.
And then so like spoilers were coming out, and the spoilers right away came out. Eddie's in it. And these guys sign NDAs when you go see like early screenings. So, but
Yeah.
it always gets out there. And it's like, Eddie's in it. And then like it started going around, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm like, they're not gonna fucking put Eddie in this movie for long. Like something's up. But in my mind, this is what I thought should have happened. I was writing the film in my head before it came out. I'm like, I know they're gonna fucking kill his ass off. He's not gonna be in the movie much, but let's do him some justice. I think it would have been a much cooler idea if they were modern day. Like, let's say Sarah Connor got away and they lived more of a normal life, and Edward Furlong got a new identity because they're fugitives. But let's say Edward
Yeah.
Furlong changed his identity and he was working a normal job. It could be in Guatemala, but we start off modern day. In modern day, Eddie, he could look like shit. It would work. He could be out of shape. He wouldn't have to get in shape, bags under his eyes. Hey, man, whatever. And we see him in an office working a mundane life. And that's a cool opening because it's like, this is the guy that was supposed to be the savior of humanity. And they stopped Judgment Day, which is good. But the payoff is he's a nobody now. Like, you know what I mean? Can you understand what that's probably like? Like I was supposed to be this fucking great war hero. Now I'm making fucking $30,000 a year. You know what I mean? I'm out of shape. I thought that'd be cool. And that's where they should have brought in a Terminator, like in the office, like pushing the mail cart. Like
Nah,
working the Maytag.
I think he should have been hanging out with Danny Cookski, man. Still listen to Guns N' Roses, dude.
He was a fugitive. They couldn't.
Oh god,
That's why they're in
they
Guatemala.
had to bring back Danny Cookski.
They were like terrorists after T2, man. That's what I'm saying. He had to change, even if he couldn't bring Cookski back in his life. He changed his name, got a new identity. I just think that would be cooler, and him have a really grandiose opening scene before they killed him, not just have a deep fake
No,
PS3
no, no.
Eddie. And the
I
fact
got
that
it.
they
I
did
got it.
it, no, the fact that they did it, it might have softened the blow a little bit if there was a time jump and he was older, but the fact that they literally portray it as like a fucking month, it could be whatever. And it really says, wow, did T2 mean nothing? And we went through all that epic journey of T2. I know why you cry, something I can never
Okay,
do. I
okay.
already have to go. And
So
then he just gets gunned down.
I know the intro. What should have happened?
What?
Danny Cookski should have been there with Linda Hamilton.
Donkey Lips Terminator should have showed up on the beach.
No, no,
With shades.
no, he's standing there and he says, "I think I saw that kid you were looking for." And he points to him, and then he walks over, and of course he kills John Connor. So it'd be perfect.
Say, that's a nice cock. Mind if I keep that in my mouth? Mind if I holster that in my mouth? No,
Oh
okay.
Jesus.
All right. So anyway, woulda, coulda, shoulda. I know I'm just like an armchair quarterback here. I can write a fucking better movie. But the thing is I think the fans could. I think if you got like pulled together, there's fans out there that could do so much better. And this is a James Cameron thing. James Cameron's got too much pride. It kills me. He was mad when David Fincher killed off his characters from Aliens that he built up, and he killed them off at the beginning of 3. And he did the same thing with his own fucking character at the beginning of his 3rd movie. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Isn't that wild? That's some wild stuff. But anyway, so that scene ended. It kind of just set us out. That's what happened, and now we're present day. And what we saw before was the Kyle Reese, the female Kyle Reese, fall out of the sky in Mexico. Right. So
Mhm.
this is where it kind of blends T1. We have the Kyle Reese coming back in time, and she's coming to protect this chick, which, spoiler alert, you see it coming a million miles away. They're playing it off, trying to trick you into like, oh, she's Sarah again. I'm here to save you because your womb is gonna have the new savior of mankind.
Grace is awful in this, dude. She is terrible.
Yeah, but, you know, you
Mackenzie
get
Davis, I think
you
her name
know
is.
where it's going. She is John Connor, and that's, like, supposed to be the
Yeah.
big twist. You have Linda Hamilton coming out of nowhere, like, this guy looks like a Mexican Josh Peck, dude.
Mm,
You
mhm.
know, it's like nothing against that. I mean, Josh Peck is fine with me, you know, he's alright guy.
Yeah, Danny Ramos is pretty good looking though. She's good looking.
Is that who's that who her that is? Is that an actress?
Yeah, that's her name in the movie.
Oh, in the movie. Yeah, she's alright. She's basic. She's mid, Todd. She's alright. She's a girl next door 7.
Well, so
But
was Linda Hamilton back in the '80s.
Linda Hamilton isn't even a 7 if you were grading her as a leather
Back in
bag.
the '80s, I'm sure
No,
she was a 7.
she's not even like,
Honestly, people in the chat, what do you think Linda Hamilton back in the well, I guess most of these people aren't very old, but in the chat.
look, I like Linda Hamilton's everyday look. She looks like everybody's mom's best friend when you were like a kid.
Yeah,
That would come over and they'd drink
now she
beers
looks
and
like
bullshit.
Bon Jovi, so
Anyway, look, so that's it. We're in Mexico now, and it's a completely different timeline. Sarah, they who put that there? Get that off my screen. She was hot. Was that Todd?
yeah.
Nice ass. Okay, now we have Gabriel Luna. He's like the T-1000 in this movie, but he's known as the Rev 9. And Todd didn't like it, but I think the Rev 9's kind of cool.
I said the Rev 9's cool, but the actor, I didn't buy the actor,
I
Gabriel
have
Luna. Oh,
I don't
dude.
well, look, it makes
Not
sense
intimidating at all,
look,
dude.
but it makes sense, you know why? Because the person that they're going back to hunt lives in Mexico. So let's send back somebody of Mexican he
You
fits
could have
in.
sent back Danny Trejo, dude. Somebody actually look at his baby face, dude.
Can
No.
no, but look, because he's just like Robert Patrick where he's unassuming.
Robert
You
Patrick, he had a look
look
to him where you knew
that
he looked like a
no, but
frickin'
he's not. Yeah, when nobody's looking at him and just the audience is, then he looks sinister. But when he's talking to
that dude looks
fucking
like a
Todd,
Play-Doh, dude, when
when he's
he
talking
yeah,
to Todd and Janelle, he's like, "It's a good looking boy."
he looks like a
He's
Play-Doh, dude.
look, no, he doesn't. You
Yeah.
got Play-Dohs on the mind, and it worries me. Now, stop dogging on my boy Gabriel Luna, because let me tell you. Now, the only thing I can knock about
He
this, and
sucked, dude.
I'll no, you suck dick. All right, listen, Gabriel Luna is okay but the problem is, I do think you're right. I think they went again for a Robert Patrick type, which I think he's fine for the role, but I think they already did that. They already did the pretty boy, like a smooth face, because they remember in Terminator 1, they went for big, intimidate. He looks scary. It's obvious. This guy's bad. He's got fingerless gloves and he's just a big hulking motherfucker. And then they went to do the opposite for 2. Let's get a slender guy, an unassuming guy he could pass as a cop. That's cool. They just kind of did it again. He's even a cop. Right? He'll pose as a cop later. So they just did it again. I think it would have been interesting if they would have went back again and got, like you said, a mean motherfucker again. Said, fuck it, let's just get a big
Yeah.
monster guy. But as far as like, I don't mind him, and I don't mind his like capabilities because I think
They coulda got Mario Lopez over him, dude.
that would have been hilarious. Can you
He
imagine?
would have been better than this guy.
And then instead of Grace, they cast Mark Paul Gosselaar with the bleach blonde hair, dude. He comes out of that bubble naked. Boom. You would have gotten bricked up, dude.
Oh, absolutely. You know
But
me.
can you imagine I can. I can imagine Mario Lopez as the Rev 9. But as far as like him and his capabilities and him as a character, I think they really did peak at 2 with the T-1000 and the liquid metal. So I understand it's like, where do they go from here? Where do they go from here? But I think what they did here was cooler than what they did with like the TX and 3. Like
No,
it
I
was
agree. It's cool. It's cool what they
it
did.
seemed like
Yeah.
the evolution from the T-1000. Like,
Yeah.
okay, if we're
The
talking about
well, the T800, T1000, yeah.
but I'm
It's
saying if
cool.
it's tech, this I feel like this is how he would evolve. I like how he splits off
Yeah.
like Noob Saibot,
I
and
like that too.
he's got some of that T-1000 flow. I think it's realistic, but we also have to keep in mind that this is a different unit. This is a different timeline, and this isn't even Skynet. So the T-1000s never existed.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
so we're dealing with Legion, because again, Sarah Connor and John Connor and Miles Dyson, they changed the course of history. But as we're gonna learn, hey, Judgment Day is inevitable. That's what he says in 3, because it just happened again with another. And that's, remember what Sarah Connor says? I love it when they're in the hotel room talking, like, well, it's in our world, it's Legion. Those son of a bitches, they never learn.
Yeah.
Ah!
Skynet to Legion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we
No.
got Gabriel Luna going to the factory where his kids work, posing as his dad, their dad, and he's going there to kill Danny. And what I don't understand is why is he even running this risk of like standing 30 feet away from her and aiming a gun? Just get up close. It's your daughter.
Yeah, yeah,
Like you can get up close to her, like, hey, baby, what's up? Give her a hug and just fucking boom.
yeah.
I don't know why they make it so dramatic. And I
I
get it.
I do like this scene, though. I think it's pretty cool with all the factory workers and everything like that.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I also liked, where the military comes in and he starts breaking through all the military. So that'll come later, but
Yeah. Oh,
there's some pretty good action in this
I
shit.
I like how Gabriel Luna plays it because I feel, I know it's two different timelines and it's not Skynet, but I still think technology is going to technology, and I feel like he's the next step up from Robert Patrick, because in Terminator they wanted, listen in the sense of this, in the first Terminator, the T-800,
Was
that's why they cast
handled
him.
Robert
Listen,
Patch.
that's why they cast Arnold, because he sounded robotic. It's like, oh, his fucking Austrian accent and broken English kind of works.
Mhm.
And but then in the second one, we had to get someone more unassuming. So let's get a slender guy, could be a cop, and he could talk more human like. Gabriel Luna is even an advanced step up from that. Where like when you see him like talking to the cops and stuff like that, he's much more fluid and natural and accommodating to his surroundings. Like he blended in well with the cops. He talked white, he talked just like them. So I think it's cool.
No, I mean, I think he's better than Mackenzie Davis's Grace. Grace is shit, but I mean,
I'm
that's not
saying
much
as
better.
a robot, bro. I like the technology and how he is and how
Well,
he
the
is simulated.
technology's cool. Yeah, no, it's a good idea,
I
but
like his acting as a
yeah.
simulation where he seems even more human. It's progressing. We're not talking about like Grace, and she's shit. I know, but we're not. Yeah, whatever. She's not even. Todd, after watching this, Todd's like, I don't get it. Is she a robot? I'm like, were you not watching this? She's augmented. She's a half breed. She's a mugblood.
It's kind of dumb, but
Why is it dumb? Look, I don't think the movie's great, but I'm not trying to like die on a hill for it. But I'm saying like, why is that dumb? They did that shit in other Terminator movies. You don't buy into,
if she's a half breed, she'll get her fucking ass kicked against the
you
Rev
don't
9.
you don't understand. She's augmented. She's supercharged.
Yeah, but the Rev
Oh,
9 is like freaking invincible, dude. I mean, that's a T1000 times 2, man.
did you make them? Were you on the
What?
fucking factory floor? Why do you know so much about them and how strong and their capabilities? What do you
Well,
look? She's
he's a
still a human.
T800 and he's a T1000,
The
so
way I
I would
understand it is she's still a human. She's still mortal, and
yeah,
she can still succumb to her wounds. But she's got the speed and strength.
and she feels
And
pain.
you
So
don't
so
think that?
Arnold's probably the T800 is probably more powerful than she is.
Yeah, probably. But you don't think? But okay, so your logic is fucking full of holes
How is
because
that full of holes?
then how did Linda Hamilton survive? She's not even
She
augmented.
shouldn't survive. She should have died in the first 10 minutes.
This is the universe we're in, Todd. This is the sandbox. Let's play in it. You got to live within the world of this movie. Jeez Louise. How come
No, and
Jimmy
Linda
Carter fucking can't live in this world?
and the fact that Linda Hamilton survived as long as she did
Look,
is
I
freaking
know it's
ridiculous.
dumb, but listen, what I was saying is,
She's a Terminator killer.
you don't think it's viable that deep into the future they're going to be augmenting people and repairing people with robotics? I do.
No, I totally understand, though. I
I
mean,
do.
they're already doing that.
And every movie and every book, ever since science fiction's been a thing, has portrayed that. Has portrayed people with robotic limbs.
Mm,
It's just been a
but
thing.
but they're not gonna be more powerful than somebody that's liquid metal slash
Who says she is more
endoskeleton.
powerful? Who says she is? She doesn't necessarily have to be more powerful.
Well
She's got to outrun his ass a bit.
well, the fact that she survived so long,
But most of the time, she's running. That's what they do in these movies. They run away.
they're
Like even Terminator in T2. What does he say? We must go when it's like coming back
she's
to him.
that powerful, but she has to take shots of, penicillin or whatever so she doesn't die. Her skin doesn't die. It's so stupid.
Look, it's so funny. Gamer Aaron's hounding on Riverman's ass tonight, and not in a fun way. Oh, don't get all sent. We're just playing around, dude.
Yeah, did you like that whole fact where she has
What?
to, regenerate with the stupid, syringes? That thing's
Uh,
fucking stupid, dude.
yeah, I think it was an easy out.
I
It's
thought
just
she was a
something
hybrid.
it's just stupid shit they write in to make getting from point A to point B easier. It's just like when they're with Sarah in the car and she's messing with she's messing with Sarah's phone to find out where she's getting the traces from, which is Arnold. She's like, "What are you doing? Future shit." Like, oh, okay, that's good.
Well, that's
Throwaway
why
line.
she doesn't have to mess with, like, Linda Hamilton doesn't have to mess with her, you know, diabetes medicine or whatever, but, the Grace does, the
She
hybrid
seems like
does.
more of a hepatitis kind of girl,
Oh, okay, whatever.
like a Hep C kind of girl.
So,
I'm
I
just
don't
saying.
know. I just that God, it just I think she's the worst part of the movie,
Oh,
honestly.
Linda?
No,
No,
Grace,
Grace. Yeah, yeah, she's not good. And that fucking like home improvement haircut does nothing for me.
terrible.
It's
Yeah,
kinda but what she kinda looks like Devon Sawa if you squint your
she
eyes.
does look like Devon Sawa.
Okay, but anyway, I don't wanna be one of these people that just instantly jumps because a lot of people were calling
I'm
this
not
movie,
saying it's terrible. I'm
but a
not
lot of
saying the
people are
movie's terrible, no.
I I get it, they're doing the gender swap thing. Terminator was all about strong female characters. It's not that, but a lot of people are calling this, like, Terminator woke fate. I'm tired of the word and term woke, but
It is.
it is a
It
little
is.
girl powery, but,
Yeah.
that's not the problem with it. I wouldn't mind, but it's just I don't like her that much. You know what I mean? Like,
I
she's
think
just
it'd be just as effective with Linda Hamilton as girl power and, Danny, the main girl as girl power, but get rid of Grace and throw somebody else
uh,
in there.
but oh, so you're like, okay, so I thought you were just trying to say just Danny and Linda Hamilton. That makes no sense. You gotta have the Kyle Reese person that's
You would
from
have the Kyle Reese
their
person in there. Yeah,
timeline.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You just
But
wanna recast her.
throw a
Throw a
dude in
dude
there.
in there. We've gotten to the bottom of it. Throw a dude in there. Todd needs a little sausage. It's getting a little too
Throw a dude in there and then recast Rev 9, Gabriel Luna, for somebody that would actually,
okay. So I props though. Let's compare this to 3 and Salvation and Genesis. This one is a little bit more back to basics. While it is derivative of the first Cameron 2, it's safer. They're attempting it. Like this is a car chase. There's
there's good action. Yeah.
no other Terminator movie besides the second one had a car chase like this. First two. So it's a car chase. It's modern, right? It's CGI. It's not like an old school practical car chase, but you kind of have to take what you can get. You have to understand. But what's kind of going on, what's scripted here is kind of cool. Like I liked it, the throwing the beams through the car and him catching it with his hand. It's kind of reminiscent of the T1000 stuff, but it's neat. And I don't think the CGI is too offensive. I get
Well,
it.
it's not great, but I mean, what can you do at
But
this point in
was the
2020 whatever 20
T1000? But the T1000 looked kind of fucking goofy too when you think about it. I like it because it's
well,
nostalgia.
at least they had the, at
He
least they
had a
had the
theme.
music.
He had a theme, he did, and I really don't know if I caught a theme for his. You're probably right, and that really helped.
I don't know
But
why it did, but it did.
it does. A theme is that's what a theme should do. I don't know if Gabriel Luna really has one, but anyway, so they're Todd's like, "Oh, she wouldn't stand a chance." The fucking Rev 9's about to kill her ass until Sarah Hamilton, Linda Hamilton is going to save him. So she's
Yeah.
not as strong. She's just running away. She's getting them away. And I love how this guy gets run over. Just like boom. You just hear boom.
Well, okay, so this is what I understand. Okay, so the guy can, like, go through his transmission into his car, but he can't do that, like, throughout the movie. Like, I would keep doing that, like, whatever they're driving. Like,
Yeah, but
how was he able to do that? Was he just able to touch the hood of the car and then
why
become
don't
the
they go
car?
back in time and kill her when she's on the shitter? I mean, there's a million things I could say.
Yeah, it's just kind of a plot hole.
Yeah, it always is. Like, why don't they like literally we could just do T2 again. Like, oh, we failed. Let's just go back again. Like, let's just go back again and try it again when John Connor's at the mall. This time, don't fucking tell the red kid. Don't tip off the redhead kid because he's the one that tells him.
Hey, don't be talking about Danny Cooksey like that.
But anyway,
Oh,
uh,
isn't it funny how her name is Danny as well? And,
no, it's common.
Danny is probably the worst. I mean, she's terrible, dude, as the savior of,
She's
the
not viable.
rebellion. The
She's
rebellion.
not
Ugh,
viable as it, and we're
terrible.
supposed to, as the film starts ramping up towards the end, we're supposed to, like, see hints of that, like, so before they reveal, "You sent me back here. You're the savior." Before that, the minutes leading up to it, she's doing things like, "We can't just run. We can't just run. We have to face it. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die." And I'm like, I get it. That's her foreshadowing. Like, oh, she's a great leader
Yeah,
because she
yeah.
doesn't give up. My God, there's a lot of people that don't give up. And then when they show her in the future, the whole "come with me if you don't want to live" kind of vibe she's got saving her, she doesn't seem that tough. Now, Linda Hamilton, she seemed tough. Like going from the first one to the second one,
Yeah, here
you
she
wouldn't want
is,
to,
by the
yeah.
way.
Dude, she's not a there's no recoil on that bitch. She just boom,
No,
boom, boom. You think she'd be like boom, boom.
ridiculous, dude.
So yeah, I'll be back.
Tell me she doesn't look like Bon Jovi, dude.
Okay, she doesn't look like Bon Jovi. I'm just kidding. She kind of does. I'd lie. I'd
Terminator
lie.
3 was a masterpiece. Let's get to this mutineer comment. I totally disagree. I think Terminator 3 stinks, dude.
Look, I think T3 is okay. Once again, I'm the guy that you heard how I feel about the Alien franchise and Hellraiser. Terminator 3 is watchable. It's fine. When these movies get shit on, they're getting graded on a scale because we're comparing them to the first and second one. But T3 as a regular movie, dude, you can't tell me that T3 is not easier to watch than, I'm going to say it again, Children of the Living Dead or a really bad movie.
Well, it's
Theater
not.
Bizarre.
Well, T3, along with this, is not a movie I wanna rewatch, let's just say that.
I'm
And
not
neither is
saying
Children
you
of the Living Dead, but
I'm not saying you do, but like you can follow it.
well, Children of the Living Dead's fun to watch with people. Like, this is fun, but, I mean, if
I
I own this movie, I would never watch it again, honestly. I
T3
had the
at
option of buying this film for a dollar, and I chose to rent it, so I didn't have to have it in my library.
no, you didn't.
Yeah,
A dollar?
on
You're
Amazon,
lying.
dude. No,
A
on
dollar?
Amazon, yeah.
It only cost a dollar?
Yes.
I looked it up myself. It was not a dollar.
Well, it was a dollar. Maybe
That's no
it was my credits, but no,
yeah, it probably.
I would rather rent this movie and have my extra $2 in credits.
Okay, guys, he gave this a 6 out of 10.
It's no,
Uh,
I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm not saying it's terrible. It's
but you don't want it stinking up your digital library?
no,
Dude, you like worse movies than this.
I do,
I'm gonna
but
tell you right now, I would rather turn my brain off and watch this bullshit than The Fucking Wood or something.
The Wood?
Facts. Yeah. Random ass movie you like that I
The
think I would
Wood
rather,
from the '90s, dude?
yeah.
The
Tay Diggs.
Yeah, that's
Ta
a funny movie. That's a black comedy. I
Omar
like
Epps.
that movie.
Absolutely. Black
Yeah.
comedy doesn't make a good comedy. I'm just saying it's okay, but I'd rather watch a movie like this.
Racist.
Anyway, Terminator 3, I have to give Terminator 3 credit because at least it was trying to do something different. It just was, look, this movie is trying to copy like T2. It's safe, but T3 tried to do something different, but it was on such a smaller scale. And it was so weird. Uh it was so odd when you had just seen T2 as your last installment, and then they come out with T3 some years later, and like that's not the turn. And I know there were two different T800s in one and two, but the T800 in part two is the one everyone bonded with because he was like the father figure
Yeah.
none of us ever had. And then all of a sudden we get a new T800 again, and he doesn't know John. He's got a different directive. He's following Catherine Brewster's orders, and he just treats John like shit. And it's not. And I get it, it's different machine, but it was just hard to go from this to that. And what I don't understand is why. Okay, I get why what happened with T2. He fell into a biker bar. He got a leather jacket. He got a pair of shades and a motorcycle. Why did the T800 that killed John in this also look like he came from a biker bar?
Hmm.
It makes no sense. And then
Yeah.
why in T3 he got his glasses from a gay bar. But that was just like a little tongue in cheek thing and he got a jacket. But it doesn't make it's so funny because they go on to explain Sarah Connor rescued him. They're going to drive off. She caught him because they fucking jacked her car, which is funny. Like, you stole my car. Like, my Tums are in there. I got
My cigarettes. I grab my
and
cigarette.
and she goes on to explain that, like, how did you know where we were? Because they're gonna start grilling her. It's like, and she says that, hey, I got this contact. I don't know who it is. They randomly send me coordinates like every. I don't remember what she said. If it's like every year, every couple of years,
2
but he ran
years. Yeah.
they randomly send me coordinates, and then with 2 word messages for John. And
Mm.
already I'm like groaning in the theater. Like, can we just get to the? We know it's fucking Arnold.
Poor John. Yeah.
We know it's Arnold's. Like, he hasn't shown up
He feels bad.
anyway.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that yet, but we know it's Arnold because we know he's gonna be in the movie. But and so she shows up. There's a Terminator. She takes it out, and obviously, fucking Jonathan Taylor Thomas here is gonna hack into her phone with future shit, and she's gonna find out that those coordinates are coming from like Texas. And I don't know if it was like Plano, I don't remember where it was. Plano, I don't know. But they go to Texas, and of course, we'll get there, but it's the Terminator. And what we find out is happening is that what happened with Skynet had an insurance policy. They didn't just send back the T-1000. I think I don't know if they specify, but I actually think it's more of a, because why would they send back a T-1000 than just send another T-800? I feel like it's an insurance policy from the first movie even. But basically they don't go into it. I just don't know why they wouldn't send
Yeah,
another
why didn't they send
T-1000.
multiple T-1000s?
Why didn't they send a T-1000? Why would they send a T-800 again? You think it'd be like a deep fake Robert Patrick. But
Ye
anyway, that's neither here or there. What I'm saying is, he says, well, they had an insurance policy, so you might have like evaded him in the year 1990, whatever, and stopped Cyberdyne, Skynet, all that stuff. But in the future, they sent back that Terminator that you killed, but they sent back more. They sent back one every 2 years, just in case the one before it failed, which is
yeah.
kind of neat. But what happened is they still stopped Skynet. So they changed the future. So Skynet never came to be. But the Skynet from the timeline that was before had already sent all these Terminators.
Yeah,
So
that doesn't make a lick of sense because, okay,
why?
you send the T-1000 and then you send T-800s every 2 years. So why not just keep sending T-1000s every 2 years?
Is that not the point I just made fucking 3 minutes and I
I
said
know, no,
whatever?
that's what I'm saying.
I just said I digress. I said that doesn't make sense.
The whole thing doesn't make sense. It's stupid. It's
Why would you
stupid.
upgrade
It's
to some
stupid.
why would you upgrade to something more unassuming and just go back to the old model? I know it doesn't, maybe they were out. Maybe they only had so much
They
inventory.
didn't have the Rev 9 by that time, so they had to
The
keep
Rev
doing
9 is a
that.
different timeline. That's Legion.
That's Legion. That's Legion.
Yeah.
God, dude, this is fucking it's like
Look,
fucking Star Wars, dude.
listen to me. All these Terminators got sent at the same time. Think of it like this. I'm in 1997. I drive a 1997 Dodge Stratus. I find a time machine. I'm in 1997 with my time machine. I can't send back a 1998 Dodge Stratus because I don't live in 1998, but I can send back 50 97 Dodge Stratuses
Yeah,
to
yeah,
all these.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, I got you,
Okay.
I got you.
We're really hurting our brains over this. It's not worth it, man. But anyway,
You're not worth it, brah. You ain't worth it.
you ain't worth it. Anyway, I'm getting worked up just for fun, I swear. But anyway, that's what happened. So they thought, oh, we saved the day. Let's go run away. And then that's why one just comes out of the fucking beach out of nowhere and kills them. And that's what the T-800 who she's gonna find in Texas. That's the one that killed her son.
Like, why are you
Is
putting
gonna,
her on ice? Here. Have you seen the bathtub?
yeah,
So cheesy, dude.
it's a shitty motel. It tells us everything we need to know about the shitty motel. I don't mind
Foil
it.
blocks a GPS signal.
That's funny. I like potato chips. I like it, dude. Anyway, this is like the whole this is the cyborg. I need to cool down. Remember when like John Claude Van Damme we put on ice, dude? The ice bath. I need to cool down.
I'm surprised Linda Hamilton doesn't have that Alex Jones like bag or whatever where you put your cell phone in so they
She's
can't
got
track
his
you.
voice, dude. She's
Yeah,
got his
I
voice, man.
know, man.
Anyway, so that's the crux of it. That's where the two worlds collide, and yeah, so we're gonna run into Arnold here in a few, and he's basically gonna say he's gonna spell it all out for everybody that doesn't understand. He's gonna say, yeah, like, they sent this insurance policy, and
Carl.
yeah, my name is Carl now. I sell drapes, but since you killed Skynet, they were left without a mission. They're still coming. So he's like, I felt bad. So after I killed the kid, satisfied my mission. They already explained in the first movie that you can't go back. Once you come to the from the pit, they can't send you back.
Yeah.
So, and we never get to see what happens when they fulfill our mission. We never really see it,
Yeah.
except for Terminator self-terminates. I cannot self-terminate.
Mhm.
So he had John Connor lower him down. So clearly Carl didn't want to have someone self-terminate him. He moved on. He clearly crossed the border illegally, that motherfucker, and went to Texas from Guatemala.
Ah, ah,
By the way, I always
he's got
imagined
back.
when they show him on the beach, I'm like, I imagine he was like, he just walked away underwater and was walking like Jason under the fucking ocean.
Or like
Like,
zombie, Fulci zombie
yeah,
did.
yeah. Because I wonder, it's like, well, did he just get on a plane? Like, where he's in Guatemala? Did he walk? Did he hitch a? Where does he go? But whatever. He ends up in Texas, and he says, he found a woman with a kid, and he just started acclimating to the real world. And he said, over time, I cannot have feelings like you. I cannot love like you. But when I raised Mateo, I understood what John meant to you. I understand, and I feel bad. So I send you these texts to kill Terminators that are coming. They're coming, like pumping iron. They're coming in you, coming. I'm calling the drapes. It's funny though. It is funny. It's stupid, but you have to have a laugh at the drape
The
shit.
the
It's so
Carl the Carl stuff, I think is the best part of the movie.
because
Arnold
Arnold's
and
funny because
yeah,
Arnold's so captivating.
yeah.
But what we're going to the future here. We're showing this is where she's explaining what happened.
Yeah,
They were in a
the
battle
race, yeah.
and she's gonna die. She gets hit by a bunch of shrapnel and shit. And they got her on an operating table in like some fucking Day of the Dead bunker, and she's like, augment me, man. Like, save me. And yeah, they go back in time. Look at that shit. That's interesting. That the fucking tentacle the
No, that was cool, yeah. No, I was thinking the same thing.
it is what it is. But I don't know. Yeah, it's like a CGI fest and stuff like that. But it kind of looks like what's that Edge of Tomorrow?
Eh,
What's that Tom Cruise movie?
yeah, Edge of Tomorrow slash,
War of the Worlds or whatever.
yeah.
But that's just kind of where we're at now. I mean, like when T2 was out, it was groundbreaking and it looked like nothing else. It did. But now everything just kind of looks homogenized. Everything's kind of on the same plane. Like all these movies kind of look the same, but it is what it is.
The Starship Troopers did it best, so
Yeah, here's the bear. I love the Starship Troopers.
no, we should do a commentary on that, man. I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie, man. Michael Ironside's awesome in it. Let's see. That's so funny. Wait, they should have 12 monkeyed it. I watched. I mean, I've seen 12 Monkeys a few times, but I watched it with the wife, and she fell asleep because she was sick. But I
I
rewatched it
don't
because
remember that movie.
I have it. I have the Arrow version of it. Yeah, 12 Monkeys is cool. It's very 90s.
Is it
It's
good?
very. It's very. Yeah, 12 Monkeys is
I
good.
rented it back in the '90s. I haven't rewatched it, though.
It's
Mutineer, what do
it's
you think? And 12
it, it
Monkeys.
it's very 90s. It's during to me Bruce Willis's fucking hot streak
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
he was hot in the 90s, man. And well, you have 12 Monkeys, you had Fifth Element, you had Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Mhm.
Uh, awesome, awesome. And yeah, it's a wild movie. It's a future movie. It's a going back in time movie. It's kind of like got those Terminator vibes, and I think it's a really neat flick. Yeah, stop sending dumbass robots and get a real assassin, man. They're taking our jobs.
I know.
Carl, these fucking illegal robots are taking our fucking drape jobs, dude. How did Carl start a business?
I don't
Think
know.
about it. Think about it.
Well, how
Like
did he get a wife for
how
30
how
years?
many how many POCs, people of color, can't get loans to start businesses because of prejudice, but a fucking white robot can walk in and get handed money to buy a van and stuff. A lot of problems.
Well, how is he with a girl for 30 years and she doesn't want anything to do with
We're
him?
gonna get there. I want to talk about what that comes because that is hilarious. We'll get there. Let's space it out.
Okay.
But is this where she's talking about the potato chip thing? We already missed it. Oh, she's talking about John. John, she's me.
So you're
Ah,
here to
my
protect her.
yeah, she's bitter, man. She's almost like, I
And
get it.
one like you
I
before.
think she's
Yeah.
actually playing it kind of correct. I think she's playing it right.
I actually like Linda Hamilton in this because she's so cheesy
I
cringe. It's like it
I
gives me
think she
something to actually enjoy.
I think she's playing the role just right because clearly she loved her son. Her son sacrificed a lot. She sacrificed a lot. And I mean, he sacrificed his childhood to be a fucking terrorist on the run, and he just gets killed at like nothing because like none of their efforts meant anything. And then now the timeline's changed, and she's on one hand kind of looking out for Danny because she's like, "Why do you care?" Because I was her and it sucks. But I think she's also a little jealous. You know what I mean? Like I was this person and now I'm a nobody.
Oh,
And nobody remembers my son.
and Linda Hamilton is we were kinda talking about this before. She seems like the type of lady that hangs out with, Laurie Strode from, Halloween 2018. They sit at the bar or whatever their bar wenches, dude,
And
just freaking
fucking
going back and forth,
complain and
dude.
complain
Yeah.
and complain.
Oh,
God.
yeah. They
Jeez
go back
Louise.
and forth, dude.
And the thing is I would be team Sarah all the way. I would look at her like Lori, like this guy, he came to my neighborhood 40 years ago and he killed like two people. And I survived. And I can't get past it. If I was her, I'd be like, you fucking cunt.
I kill Terminators every 2 years, bitch.
Yeah, my son got fucking annihilated on a beach while he's drinking high C and Hawaiian punch. And it's just the trauma does not equate. It's like
Mm.
Sarah went through so much fucking more than Laurie Strode. But yeah, Zakito, legit Kyle Reese did sound like Alex Jones to that psych and detectives in the first movie. Oh yeah, he sounded
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Dude.
The real JC was never born thanks to idiot Reese. Their whole timeline should have collapsed. Wait, because Reese came back in time, Jesus Christ was never born? I'm just kidding. You mean John Connor. Like he really fucked up humanity.
He went back again. Yeah.
Can you imagine the fucking Terminator going back to like the
Biblical
New
times,
Testament?
yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. He's helping he's like carrying a cross, dude. The real yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The whole time thing is weird. It's like was there ever yeah, I don't know. Mutineer. Oh my god, I just noticed John Connor is another JC initial. Hollywood, get off it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what's funny? That is intentional. It has to be. That the JC analogy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's fucking you know what's funny is like they movies do that all the time and it's so fucking pretentious. He's like a martyr. He's like it's telling the story of Jesus. Like, come on,
yeah.
man. I don't think Jesus Christ would be flattered by this.
No, Cameron probably tried to use it. Oh, man.
Can't I would like to say Cameron's a hack, but he's not. Obviously, he's obviously made some awesome,
No, he's
awesome
great,
movies.
man. Yeah.
But he's lucky he's lucky he does because there's a lot of guys that act like James Cameron that don't have the put up to shut up. And so he, his shit, he can talk, but
Yeah, absolutely.
he's super full of himself. He doesn't seem like a fun guy to be around. He seems like he's just constantly up his own ass and I don't know. Like I said, at least that confidence comes from somewhere, but
Yeah,
12
at
Monkeys.
least he has something to back it
Hey
up.
Tom, how you doing, man? I don't think we said hi to you. 12 Monkeys was filmed in Pennsylvania. Yeah, I was reading that actually. I read about that just a couple days ago
I
actually.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I can't remember any more than that, but I do remember that. So there's more scenes of them driving in a car. It's very T2. It's very T3 too. So they're driving to I'm guessing they're driving to see Carl, right?
Yeah.
They're going to Texas. I don't blame. You know what? I wonder what was going through her head the whole time. So she let the Terminator walk away in Guatemala because obviously she's torn and she's like holding her son as he's like breathing his last breath. But I wonder if like this whole time she's thinking, I gotta find that motherfucker. You think she'd be going on a manhunt trying to
That's what
find that
she's
Terminator?
doing, dude.
No, she's not.
Yeah, I mean, she's killing Terminators every 2 years,
She's not looking for that one.
but she doesn't know who's texting her.
But but what? I guess
Yeah,
whatever.
she thinks she doesn't know who's texting her, so she's thinking like, "Okay, this could be the one that killed John."
I don't think she ever says it, but that makes sense. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. Why else
Okay,
would
yeah,
she be
whatever.
hunting them at this point? I for me, I mean, for her, I I
And
wouldn't
that
give a
well,
shit about this point. I'm
that's
like,
that's
"Hey,
what Carl
world
said.
ha."
He's like, well, Carl says that. He says, I sent to the he said, "Look," she says this, "What are you doing? Future shit." Like, okay, nice cop out. Because she finds the coordinates just like, why do they have smartphones in the future? Isn't like aren't they like technologically stunted from like the War of the Machine? I don't
You
know.
would think because, yeah, I mean, they wouldn't
The
have any
towers, think
technology, yeah.
Skynet's gonna let him have control of the cell towers. It's got
No.
everything. But
She would know shit about technology
I
at
don't
this
think she
point.
would know anything. She's like future shit hacking into it. But anyway, yeah, Carl says that when they talk to him here in a minute. He's basically like, I thought it would give you some purpose after your son's death. Like, oh, well, thank you for entertaining me. That's what I
I
would have thought.
know,
Like,
right?
thank you, thank you. Like, I thought it would give you something to do. Give your life purpose, you old fucking hog.
Oh,
Give your life some purpose besides sitting and smoking yourself fucking like into jerky at a fucking kino hall.
she is a Keno Hall, dude. I could totally see her in a Keno Hall, dude.
Fucking just
Oh,
yeah, just drying herself out like some fucking
it
cured meat, dude. And a fucking just smoking. Oh,
type of lady I see on a daily basis, dude, in my state, man. Yeah,
yeah. Hell yeah. It's Midwest for you.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I we need to hurry up and get to Carl. That's all I need to know. I feel like we're driving a lot. What are they're arguing because like they can't get along. Like, why do you care? Why are you here? I'm like, dude, she already fucking tell you. I am her. That's what she says. Because I am her. Yeah. I'd be like,
Yeah.
get off your cloud, bitch. That's what I would say. Get off you're not now. How do they know that she's not some wino making this shit up?
Oh
She's
god.
not like fucking Buck Flower, just some crazy fucking guy just spewing nonsense. Yeah, I'm from I was the savior of humanity once. Oh, that's right. So they have to cross the border.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So they
She's
gotta
like, "Oh,
jump on the
she's like,
train.
I know a guy." Of course you do, bitch. You know a guy. You all know a guy. That'll get you
They
across.
gotta go back.
But they get busted at the border.
They do. Probably the first
I
time forever.
I don't mind it.
Forever.
This is a very Mexico heavy film.
Yeah, yeah.
It makes sense. It makes sense
I love
because like I
Mexico
said,
too.
but it makes sense because, like I said, we start off with Sarah at the south of the border, where she had history south of the border.
Mhm.
That's where she evaded and lived her whole life before she got arrested. It's where she went after T2. Um, I think it's just a convenience that the new savior of mankind was in Mexico, so we could easily bring Sarah and her together. That's a
Mhm.
bit of a plot convenience, you know. But but it's cool. I think it's cool, and I think it's great that they kept it genuine. Like I hate it when they dumb down movies and have them speaking English. And I prefer subtitle. Like we're in Mexico for this part of the movie, because like the first 15 minutes of the movie is all fucking subtitles. I
Yeah.
like it. I'm all for it. You know,
This part I think is kinda cool where the Rev 9 hacks into, he goes to Mexico City. He goes one of the data
it it
centers, and he
it,
kinda
it
gets
makes more
their
sense than
location.
future shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's like we get it. Like, yeah, he is where he is. He's
Yeah,
in a place that makes sense. He's tapping into a system that would have it paints enough, and like I buy it. But for her just
absolutely.
to like put her finger on something, and go future shit.
Yeah,
Like, all right,
that doesn't make sense.
all right. Like, was that your proudest?
Oh,
I would if I ever got to talk to James Cameron, maybe I'll manifest him. I'm in the chat now, boys. I'm here. Holy shit, James wants
hey,
to come in.
last time we talked about a director, he popped in, so maybe James Cameron will
Yeah,
pop in tonight.
that's totally not what I was referring to, Todd. Yeah, thanks for, pointing that out. That's obviously the callback, but that's okay. Todd wanted to make sure you guys were not dumb. But anyway, yeah, I would ask him straight up, like, "So was that your proudest line that you wrote?" Because he wrote that. Future shit. Anyway.
No, I think it had to be, I Do Drapes. That was probably his proudest.
Yeah, James Cameron wants to chat. I wish, dude. I would love to talk to James Cameron. I don't know how I would feel if I talked to James Cameron. I would say I first of all, I love most of his movies.
Oh, yeah, I do too.
Most of his movies,
Mhm.
and he has a pretty low filmography, but that's
Yeah.
great. He didn't do a lot of shit, he just kinda kept it really spaced out, and then even if you don't like Avatar, which I don't,
I don't either.
that's still only that's still he still has way more not Avatar than Avatar. Like, all he's done is Avatar in the last fucking, 16 years, and he's done 2 movies. So he doesn't work, man.
No, he doesn't work. I mean, T2, of course, is great. True Lies, Titanic's great. Abyss is good. I mean, yeah.
Piranha 2. No. Yeah, I mean, he had a very short run, but I'd rather have a I'd rather have a great batting average than just, a whole bunch of bullshit too, so
Yeah, I was never an Avatar guy either. I saw
it
it and I was like,
sucks.
"Meh."
It sucks. It's like, I don't get it. I don't get how he could I see Mutineer, I do like
I
Titanic.
love Titanic. I saw
I
it
think
7 times in the theater. 7.
I think that's the only fucking guy with a dick to say that. That's crazy.
Yes! And I saw
That's
Jurassic
nuts.
Park 7 times in theater.
You're like you're like the cable guy in Waterworld. It rules! How many times did,
I
Chip
only
Douglas
cried 3 times.
So we're getting the backstory. So basically in their future, it's the people that really turn on each other. Obviously, the robots did their thing, but it becomes almost like The Walking Dead, where that's the rest of the population died off because of food scarcity, which makes sense. And I actually think that's very realistic. I think you would still have. I think it's actually more realistic than thinking that everybody just easily banded together to fight the robots. I think you would have it would be like any other day in society. You'd have a bunch of alpha brains that would be like, we got to fucking band together. And you have the meth heads that live in the Midwest that are smoking rock that just want to fucking steal your Twinkies. You know what I mean? You would have these fringe
Well, yeah,
people. You
you wouldn't have any food by that point though because
would have yeah.
none of the, of course, Terminators eat food, so
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if like how long it's been going on and if they're just like looting old gas stations that have Twinkies and shit like that, and they're just getting down to the wire and people are hoarding it. Probably. They're probably finding old like Circle K's and clearing out their storage and like, okay, I found a pallet with like 100 boxes of Twinkies on it. We're gonna live
well,
off these
they're obviously
Twinkies
not
for 6 months.
growing anything there, so
I would imagine not. I mean, like, maybe it's possible. Like they have like Day of the Dead type bunkers or like Fallout shelter type things, and they're able to grow some shit. Uh, maybe if they were able to get some, I don't know. I still would like to see a future wars movie done right. I don't think they did very good with Salvation, but I don't think they couldn't try again. And because Salvation didn't deliver on what all the kids wanted since the first two. Like we wanted that when they just show you that one scene of the Terminator stepping on the skull and just those
yeah.
brief moments, and you have like Franco fucking Columbo or whatever coming through shooting up people. We wanted to see that as a kid, like, oh man, I want to see that movie. And then we got it and it looked fucking brown and ugly. Like how all these movies looked in the early 2000s, they look brown and ugly and shit, dude. They just look garbage. I'm like, but we want that vibrant, like blues and lasers and shit. And the closest we got was the T2 3D experience,
And
Universal
we talked
Studios.
about that not too long ago, which I saw that, back in the '90s, I think, man. I loved it. That was the first time I ever saw 3D, and it was awesome, man.
Oh, it was great, and it's yeah, that came out like the mid '90s,
Mhm,
and I got to see it like the year right before it got shut down. I finally saw it in like
mhm.
2011, and this is 2011, so we had been 2011 was when 3D movies were hot, dude. Again, every movie was coming out in 3D, and
20
I saw
damn, that was in there for a lo I saw it in, like, '96, I think, or
yeah,
'97.
I saw it in 2011 because I went to the Big Four show in Indio, California with my buddy
Mhm.
Danny, and we went to Universal and we saw it. But, so it's 2011. But I remember thinking, "Wow, this thing is 15 years old at least,
Mhm.
and we have movies that are modern with 3D, and it blew everything away. Dude, because I get it. It was playing in a specific theater for it. It was really catered to it. So of course it was going to be mind blowing. But dude, and they had the actors coming out, and then they'd shoot stuff. And dude, I remember like when the Terminator blasted like a T-1000 or whatever. Like the liquid metal was like it
It
really
came
looked like
right to your face, dude. You're like
yeah, it
you
was
were trying to
nuts.
touch it, dude. You never see anything like it. You're like,
It
"Oh
was
my god."
insane, and I even like the actors that came out at the end, like the John Connor,
Yeah.
"Run!" It was like, I loved it, and the fact that they got rid of that's a shame, but,
They had, like,
it had a
water spraying at you, and yeah, it's crazy, dude.
I know, you can wa we should do a commentary for that on it's on YouTube.
Yeah,
Why don't we do a commentary for that stuff?
we
I
should.
think maybe I'm dreaming it, but I wanna say I'm pretty sure they put that Didn't they put that as a special feature on the T2 4K, the one that they,
I
did with
don't know.
AI?
I don't know, but I sent it to you, probably a year or 2
Either
ago.
they did or I was saying it was a missed opportunity. I was thinking they should have fucking put it out there
Yeah.
because it should have a it's not playing anymore. They
Mhm.
retired it. Like, it should have an official release somewhere. But yeah, it's I know it's, just like you can watch the Moonwalker one,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that movie. So, we should do commentaries for, like, the Michael Jackson Moonwalker thing, and we should do the T2
Did you
experience.
get to see T2 in theaters, or was it, I only saw I my dad rented it back in, like, '93 when it came out on VHS, or,
No,
like, right when it came out.
we didn't go to see a lot of movies growing up. I mean, like, going to the movies was a really scarce and special thing. That's why the movies I did see, they're really fond memories because, the first movie I ever saw was TMNT 90, and then I think and the next movie I saw was Home Alone 2, so that was, like, a whole what, 2 years later,
Yeah, Home
right?
Alone 1 was my first film. Yeah.
So, but both 1990, but then Home Alone 2 came out, am I right? 92, am I right?
Yeah. No, it was 90 was it 92? 'Cause I saw Home Alone 2, but it was in, like, the dollar theater with my grandma, so was that 92 or 93?
Well, I mean, it could be 93, it's 92. I was fixed to say it's
But it
92.
came out, like, around Christmas, so I probably saw it in 93, so
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
that makes sense. But, so yeah, so I went a whole couple of years without
Mm.
seeing another movie, and then I don't know what I saw after that. I remember I wanted to go see Batman Returns so bad. I wanted to go see Batman in
I
92
saw that
so
in the theaters.
and I remember my dad, he promised me he would take me, and then he lied, and he never took me, and I was so sad, and I always held that against him because I wanted to go see it. So then he got arrested, he went to prison, but I never got to see it. I wanted to see it so bad. And then I don't know what the next movie I saw was. Probably something in like middle school. I probably no, you know what? The next movie I remember going to see. Get this. This is how spread out it was. The original Toy Story.
I saw it in theaters too, yeah.
And was that 94
90
holiday season
no, that
or
was,
was
like,
it 95?
96, wasn't it?
No, 95.
Oh, okay.
So I saw it opened up November 95. Yep. And which
So I saw that one, and then I saw was, Jingle All the Way in theaters as well.
yeah, so I think I went 3 years without seeing another movie in the theater, I believe. And I remember we watched was think we I think we saw it on Thanksgiving Day. I
Mm.
think after Thanksgiving we all went to the theater and saw it. So anyway, wow, Thomas, the first movie was Wild Thornberrys movie.
What's
Wow, so you're
that?
you're kind of young. Was that so? That was probably was that early 2000s?
I don't
I
remember
saw
that movie.
Munir says he saw T2 in the theater once, saw Batman Returns like 6 times. You lucky SOB, dude. I love Batman Returns. And I did see T2 in theaters sorta because they do our classic Fridays at our Harkins theaters out here and I got to see it like 5 or 6 years ago, like just
Mm.
on a Wednesday, Matt, 5 o'clock
That's
show.
cool though,
And it
yeah.
was cool. It was cool to see it. And so I could see I saw it. It never gets old, dude. I can watch T2 anytime. You put that movie on anytime, I'm planting my ass down and I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Hey Enrique. Hey mom, how's Enrique taste? Are we supposed to like insinuate? Do they had a thing, right? Right.
Enrique? Yeah, 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 I'm sure they did.
Enrique. Yeah. Anyway, people did drag me to see Titanic like 5 times in the theater. I never had to pay at least 5 times. I just can't
I
imagine
saw it
seeing a movie.
7, dude. Man, it was
Why?
hot, dude.
Why?
Dude,
I know it was, but why would you see? Yeah, girls thought it was hot because of Leo, but why were you seeing it? Because you want to see those tits?
I really enjoyed it, but back in the '90s, dude, like in the early 2000s, you went to the theaters. That's the only thing there was to do. Like,
Midwest.
even to buy these films, man, were fucking expensive.
Uh huh.
So I went to the
Did
theater.
you did you go with different people, or was it
Yeah,
like you and your
with
brother?
different people. Yeah.
Was someone like your brother like again? You're going to see it
No,
again?
you wanna go see it again, dude. We went to see movies multiple times, dude. It was cheaper to go to theaters, man.
Yeah.
It was like $3, dude.
I can think of a couple movies I saw more than once. I think I went and saw Hot Fuzz twice actually, 2 different people. I think
I saw Dumb and
Land
Dumber twice.
I saw Land of the Dead twice,
Oh, you did? Okay.
2 different people, yeah. Yeah. Dumb and Dumber, I didn't see that. I saw Dumb and Dumber 2 in the theater.
I saw Mortal Kombat in the theaters.
You did?
Yes. Q7 9.
God, dude, see, you're a privileged kid because I never got to I
Privileged
wanna go see
kid, dude.
I wanted to go see
I
Mortal
lived a
Kombat
block away. I walked to the theater, dude.
dude, I'm telling you, but you had more money than we did because
More
we're
money? My mom
we
gave
had too
me
poor.
$3, dude.
I couldn't
That's
go. I couldn't get the $3. We could not go. We could not go. And that's probably because
that's
we had so many
privilege, dude.
kids. Well, because it's you were, like, a lot small yeah. It's like, "I got money for all
I
you
got
kids to go
cigarette
to the theater."
get cigarettes.
Yeah, that's my cigarette money. Like, "I could send you all to the Dollar Theater, but that's a carton of smokes." No, it's terrible. Well, no, I didn't. I wanted to go see Mortal Kombat 95 so bad because that was so hot in my
Yeah.
elementary school. Dude, and I remember when everybody was coming back over the weekend and that had seen it, and they're like and I literally have my, like, clique of friends. They're like they did that thing where it's like, "He didn't see Mortal Kombat, he's not cool." Like, "What?" I couldn't play Mortal Kombat out on reason because I didn't see the movie. I'm like, "God dang it." And I'm like, I don't know.
We
Pissed me
saw
off.
that, and then this I think the same year we saw the, Babysitters Club because my brother was all horned up for Alex Mack, remember?
Alex Mack, Alyssa
Yeah.
Olnick, dude.
Yeah, he loved her, dude. He was, like, all horned up for her, so we had to go see that.
Oh, she was the marquee draw for him, Alex
Yeah.
Mack?
Yeah, dude.
That's wild. Just watch Alex Mack.
Uh, I don't know, man. He was all about it,
Daniel
so
Daniel Atron, I remember the villain in
we
that. She
we
was like T-1000, dude. She was like T-1000.
I don't remember the movie, but I remember we walked over to theaters to go see that.
I like so here we got the Gabriel Luna where he's like in the military. He's like he was beeping. He's like, "Oh, got a metal hip, 2 tours of Afghanistan," and he's like beeping. He's like, my whole body's a weapon." Yeah, okay, whatever, Romeo. I think it's funny. He acted like all cocky, like a fucking military asshole does. I think I like the way he blends in, and he talks just as minimal as T-1000 because Robert Patrick didn't talk a lot. I guess Robert Patrick probably talked more.
Yeah, I
You know?
actually thought this is probably the coolest part with with him where he kills all the
Yeah.
military guys and everything like that trying to
So,
break out of there.
because they're getting detained, and
Yeah.
obviously she's like on the fucking international wanted list.
Yeah.
So this guy's like, "Oh, we got the famous Sarah Connor type of deal. Like,
Yep.
oh, we've been looking for you." But you know, she's gonna actually have the Rev 9 to thank because she was about to be roasted, toasted, burnt to a crisp, dude, from fucking Interpol.
And
But
give
he
her the
saved the
awful
day.
waffle and yeah,
Who's
she'd be
gonna lick her
toast.
face? Oh yeah. But no, and these people too, they start working on her and they kind of figure her out. Like she's acting all
Grace
sick,
is a
but
human. Yeah.
yeah, like, "What the fuck is this?" And then she fakes being sick, so they come in there and she's just gonna kick their asses, but yeah, I like this whole scene. I every era I mean, I don't know if I don't like it, it's just a product of, the times, but every era has just a I can usually tell, give or take, when a movie came out just by how it looks.
Yeah,
Like
oh,
I said,
absolutely.
the early 2000 movie like I said,
Stink. They have a stink on them early
the
2000s.
Salvation
Yeah.
came out at a time where everything was ugly and brown,
Yeah, bleak, yeah.
and, and even like this looks like a product of its time, but it's just not as vibrant as it was. Like T2 had a vibrance to it. Something about it, man. Just
Mhm.
every colors popped. And you know, we're kind of with the colors are a bit more muted or whatever. And I don't know what the deal is there, but yeah, I'll take this over Salvation any day of the week. Salvation fucking sucks. I put Salvation at the somebody said earlier that Genesis was the lowest low. I will watch Genesis over Salvation any day. Which sucks
I
because
need to rewatch Salvation. Maybe we should
uh,
do that sometime.
it's just I have to rewatch it myself before I decide I wanna do a commentary for it because I just I on paper
I haven't seen it since Redbox, man.
look, on paper, a future war Terminator movie starring Christian Bale as John Connor, if you gotta recast him, sounded great at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And the movie
He
is
was
just
so yeah.
it's just boring, dude.
Mhm.
It's boring, and it looks bleak and fucking gross and brown and can we stop trying to make what is his fucking name? Sam Worthington's in it. He's fucking
Mhm.
terrible. And Jai Courtney's terrible too, who's in Genesis, which is funny because like Sam Worthington, if you can't hire Sam Worthington, you call Jai Courtney. If Jai Courtney's not available, you call Sam Worthington. And those fuckers are each in the back-to-back Terminator movies. And I'm like, they're not good. Jai Courtney plays Kyle Reese in Genesis. But I would actually like to do Genesis at next in line.
There you go, ish.
Yeah, the whole movie looks like it was fucking art decorated by the Salvation Army. That's where they got all the fucking clothing. That's where they got all the fucking props. You know. Anyway, yeah, this is cool. Look, he's tearing ass
Yeah,
with these T1000
this is
blades.
the best part in the movie, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I don't mind him, man. I think he's just like the next step.
He
But
just turns into a giant blade and he starts taking
I, I,
everybody out.
I
Yeah.
just feel like creatively they blew their low with the T1000.
Yeah, they did.
Now all we can do from here is like an extension of that. Because what do we have now? Okay, we've seen him in a cop uniform. Now he's got a military uniform on. It's kind of like the cop thing. He's Latin this time. You know, it's just building on what they already did. I don't really know what else they could do cool. As much as I like the tentacle thing, there's a point where it just looks silly.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. Can you believe Can you believe, guys? I don't know where we're at in this movie, but we still don't have Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's where they're going to take this chopper to. What's
It's
the
we're an
timestamp?
hour and 4.
In that, I mean, I
We're hour
it's
and 5 right now.
okay. So we're a little past the halfway point. But now they're going to be going to
No, we're
Texas, and
halfway. Yeah.
yeah, now they're going to. Well, not you count for credits and stuff like that. You know, technically we're. You never think about the credits, but anyway, we're deep into it. I do think Arnold's in it enough. It's not like he just pops in and out because he's pretty much in the back half of the movie,
Yeah.
which, you
No,
know,
I think
you
he's in
get
it.
you get your money's worth out of Arnold for sure.
Yeah, he's not like Steven Seagal in it for, like, 2 minutes.
And I'm glad they gave Linda Hamilton a juicy role. She's deep in this movie. She's a huge part of the flick. And you know, she had her they were planning a new series of movies. As much as like I think that they should give this fucking shit a rest. If they came out with a sequel to this where we get to see her and Danny go off, I'd be interested.
Oh,
Why not?
no.
I'd watch it. I'd be like, I want to see what Sarah's up to now. Like more potato
Oh,
chips.
you wanna see more Danny? I and see and Sarah's fine. I mean,
I
Sarah's
want to
shitty, but I'd
look.
see but Danny, no.
Linda Hamilton's character's been through a lot. I think she needs to move on and from her son's death, move on from Kyle's death, and get a new man. And I want to see her reenact that sex scene in a new movie.
Oh, kinda like
And
Laurie Strode, man. She needs to move on too, but we're getting another,
I
Halloween movie
feel
probably.
like if Laurie Strode got the Sarah Connor and T1 treatment, like the sex scene where she's riding it good, I just don't doesn't H40 Laurie Strode feel like she would pussy fart a lot? Don't you think the whole time she would just be like fucking wafting it back there? Because it's the
Oh,
Activia. The
oh,
Activia is part of that because some of it's coming out of her ass, but I just feel like it's a canyon, like just that fucking that snatch.
man, this
You know,
smell
am
like
I
a sewer, dude.
okay, here we go. Carl over here's Carl. Dun 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 dun. Sarah. I was waiting for him to say something cheesy like, "What took
Killed
you
my
so
s
long?" I love what's his wife's name? I cannot remember. Can you hear it? I got the volume down, but I like how when she
um,
shoots his ass, this is gonna be very hard to explain to Melissa or whatever. I think he's funny, but the thing is the funny parts is everything with Arnold. Eh, it's fun to watch,
they
but
killed John.
it just kills the tone a little bit. It's the same reason why that famous deleted scene that's now a meme of the Terminator smiling in T2, you know, it was taken out of the final cut because James Cameron said, you know, the goofiness, the levity, it wasn't appropriate because it's like right after this, you have like the kids with the guns, and John Connor, we're not going to make it anymore. We're not going to make it, are we? So it felt weird and out of place, and so there's not really a lot of that. There's not really stuff like that in the movie. All the comedy in T2 is not intentional. Like
Yeah.
like when the T1000 pushes that. I mean, call me fucking evil or whatever you want to call me, but like when that guy by the Pepsi machine gets lit up in the hallway, I fucking die laughing.
Yeah,
Ah! It's funny. Like when, hey, I think I saw that kid over time.
yeah.
Oh, when he gets that stuff's
It's been my
funny.
lucky day. I got a
Yeah,
full house.
and that stuff is more natural.
Yeah.
But like when they have a scene where they're gonna jump into a scene here in a bit, like when they're on their kamikaze mission in a little bit, where they cut in and Arnold is fucking telling Danny about drapes. We had the customer. He's making the drapes for his little daughter, and he wanted to do solid color. I said, "This is a mistake. You must do patterns like butterflies and blah, blah." And then she's just like, and Danny. At this point, they're about to go on a suicide mission. She's like, "Oh yeah," like taking notes. Like, bitch, it felt it took me out of it. It's funny as shit. I think it's hilarious, but in like a funny or die kind of funny, like a skit,
Yeah, it's definitely funny. I
but it
enjoy
just
it.
doesn't gel. It doesn't gel. I felt, I don't know. I'm
Was it
surprised they had,
Alicia?
yeah,
Was
maybe,
that his wife's name?
Maybe Alicia, maybe Alicia.
Alicia, and her son was Mateo.
I know Mateo. I know Mateo. Like he's got like the limes and the Corona, dude. He's really acclimated well.
Oh,
Does he
absolutely.
drink one? We don't ever see him drink one. He was watching college football, dude, when they knocked on the doorbell. So I don't know if he actually like learned to like it or if he just does it because that's what you do.
I don't know, dude.
Todd was so confused after watching this. He's like, I don't get it. Why is it a different T800? I'm like, Todd, it's the same one. It's the same
No,
one that
I knew it
killed
was
his
the
son.
same one, but why was the original one? He was so ripped, dude.
Because they age. What are you talking about? They get old.
Yeah, that just it's weird to me that they age.
They established this in Genesis actually, which is a different timeline. But that's what you have to do to justify Arnold coming back for these movies, and now he's fucking ancient. You know what I mean? It's like they have to write it in. And I think it makes total sense because if
Which
they
wait,
got
talk about this. I'll be right back.
because it makes sense because he's got to take a piss because he's fucking you know Todd, but no, but it makes sense, right? Kyle Reese is talking about the Terminators, how they got the early models, they were easy to spot, their skin looked like masks and whatever, but now they're harder to spot because right, they got real flesh, they sweat, bad breath. Look, if it's living tissue over a metal endoskeleton, living tissue ages. So I think it makes perfect sense that their bodies would decompose. It does raise the question though. So I don't know what the half-life is on these T800s, but let's say it can live 1,000 years. What happens in 300 years when he's like, what happens to his skin when he's like outlived humans? Is it like just like a rotten jack-o'-lantern and just fucking oozing off? Right? And then eventually is it all gonna rot off and then he's just gonna be walking around the earth like as a like what if whatever timeline he's in, they don't have those things? Like what's he gonna do? I don't know. I think about this stuff too much. But anyway, this is where he's kind of explaining what he was doing the whole time. And he's saying that was me. Eventually you have to eat the chips. You have to take the phone out of the bag of chips to eat the ruffles. And that's because she would shove him in a bag of chips and keep a tinfoil, and that's why she thought she wasn't able to be tracked, but she wasn't as smart as she thinks. Yeah, very funny. So she shoots him, and his dry humor is so funny. Arnold delivers it really. This is gonna be very hard to explain to Alicia, because like Todd was getting at earlier, he adopted this kid and moved in with a single mom who I guess had like an abusive husband or whatever. And he just started a family with him. And she goes on to ask, like, she didn't realize you were 300 pounds. And he's like, our relationship is not physical. She was just happy to have somebody basically like pay the bills and raise Mateo. And I'm like thinking in 30 plus years, 35, however many years it's been, the fact that sex never came up is a mind blow. Because and Todd, I think you even said it. Did she not notice in 30, 35 years he never took a shit? Todd's muted, by the way.
I said, "No, right? He hasn't taken a shit. He hasn't." Man,
But anyway, and it's clear. It's obvious that she doesn't know because they said that line
he
about the
doesn't take a
sex,
piss.
and he
Yeah, yeah,
clearly went out of his way to hide the bullet wounds by putting a flannel. But I feel like the blood would be leaking through that flannel.
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like, he got shot 3 times, but he's trying to hide it. So how is he hidden? Not taking a she's like, Carl, I have an ex husband. Every now and again, you will blow up the bathroom. I've never seen you fucking drop an atomic bomb in
That's
there before.
that's why she probably stayed with him for 30 fucking years, dude.
Yeah,
He didn't
and
think
and
of the bathroom.
and also, she didn't realize you were 300. First of all, he's probably more than 300 pounds. If he's a Terminator, but whatever. So then, okay, great. He never got on top of her and fucking crushed her fucking breathing tube. But are they not in the same bed? Because you would think that'd be some serious. Because I weigh more than my wife, and over time, I have a groove on my side of the bed. And we have to do you know, that just happens.
400 pounds and that you never sleep. Yeah, he never sleeps. He
Yeah,
just sits in his chair, dude.
he does that thing where he's standing in the corner looking at with a gun. The day turns to night. Yeah, it's so weird. Yeah, so what does he do? Does he just lay there staring at the ceiling? It's just wild. Never once. So even if he was trying to like go with that facade, she never once in the middle of the night woke up and turned around and tried to like cuddle him, and she didn't see him. Like, honey, you're awake. Like every time I wake up, you're awake staring at the ceiling. I've never seen you fucking sleep.
Well, that's even better in a husband. I mean, he doesn't shit. He stays awake. He protects the house,
Protects the family.
protects the family.
I want to. This is I. You know what I said after I saw this
Does all the
movie? I said
work. Yeah.
after I saw this movie, I'm like, you know what? This is the movie I want to see. I just want to see Arnold living in everyday. I want to see Arnold going to Mateo's parent teacher conferences.
Yes.
I want to see him talking to the teachers like, and your grades, like giving them looks and shit like that. I want to see that. I want to see him grocery shopping. I want to see him going to the butcher. I will take the filet mignon. I'll take the ribeye. You know,
They should just name it the next one Terminator Carl, dude. There you go.
and nobody thinks he's fucking weird. Like your husband's a scary Nazi. He's got dead eyes because he still doesn't have any expressions. Like
No,
what?
not at all.
He must be a great conversationalist, Alicia, because think about it. He still talks like a Terminator. He doesn't know how to. He doesn't know how to influctuate his. Think about him going to the butcher to buy some meat. I want 2 pounds ahi tuna. Just looking
This
straight like
plan has a high probability of success. Yeah.
like a guy fucking rips ass at the movie theater. He's taking Mateo and his wife to the fucking pictures, dude, to see Mortal Kombat 95. And he's like, and the guy rips ass. There's a 95% that I can fucking smell that shit. You thought I could not, but I can. Fucking smells like us. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, and I love this line. So he's got a whole fucking like armory in his fucking just like in T2. And
Weapons will be viable to
wait,
protect
wait.
my
Yeah,
family.
well, hold on. She says, "Wait. Well, why? If we stop Judgment Day, why do you have all this?" He's like, "There's still a 75% chance. My statistics say there's still a 75% chance that human will kill themselves. It is in
Mhm.
the nature. Blah blah blah. Plus, it's Texas." And he gives us that like funny line. Plus, it's
Plus,
Texas.
it's Texas.
I think he says, "And it's Texas."
Yeah.
It is funny, but like, no, you got to remember T3 did the cringe humor. Talk to the hand. Wait your turn, bitch. The Elton John glasses. But this is a Cameron
This
film.
is this is better humor.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
But Cameron did not have this humor. It's that Marvel writing, which I do overall don't like. Um, it just feels inconsistent with
Yeah.
The Cameron writing. That's all I'm saying. Because but you know what? This kind of humor was in True Lies. Pussy, right?
Well, the
Absolutely.
fact that she can shoot these watermelons after not never shooting before in her life is
Oh,
a
it's
fucking
wild.
joke,
I
dude.
no, even I don't shoot
It's the
guns, and I'm
Laurie
like,
Strode. It's the Laurie Strode effect, dude.
yeah, but at least Laurie Strode, we get the impression that she's been shooting for
That's true.
years
That's true.
because
Yeah.
she's been planning for that. So, but literally, Danny Ramos has never fucking picked up a gun, and she
Yeah.
picks up a military grade weapon and just fucking handles it like a pro.
Yeah. Which is
It would have been
ridiculous.
it would have been more interesting to see her get knocked on her ass. Like, whoa, like
Well, the pistol she couldn't shoot with her lick, but then she got like the rifle and she could, knock. She can hit anything.
yeah.
So
I think I think Arnold's still a beast in this movie. I think he looks great. I think he like looks like a great older
yeah.
guy. Like I wouldn't fuck with him in this movie.
No, I think he looks good too, man.
He was built, man. I love it. So he's saying his goodbyes, and I feel like they're taking it very well. No crying, and he comes back, and he's like, "I said my goodbyes. I told him the day I told him about. That day was coming. That day was now." Like that kind of thing. Like basically, he had told him this day would come eventually, and they're gonna drive off, and he's gonna go on a suicide
Well,
mission.
I
So
think
here's my thing.
she knew he wasn't human though, because if he was
No, she
human,
didn't.
yes, she did,
No, she didn't.
because
Then why would he have to hide the bullet marks? Why would he have to say like, "Hey, we don't have sex. That's how she knows I'm not a fucking 7."
that's why she knew he wasn't human, is because he didn't get a rod for 30 years, dude. So she knew he wasn't human.
Dude, he finger blasted her at least.
No, he didn't do shit, dude.
He knows. He searched the internet. He's a computer. He's a learning computer. He watched a lot of fucking late night silk
No,
stockings,
no, no,
fucking
no.
USA Up All Night, and he watched those fucking like Skinamax. I watched an after hour. I watched that Snapdragon Pam Anderson movie I got on the fucking
How
Kino
was it?
sale.
How was it?
Dude, I you know what? It's not good, but it brought back a lot of memories because it was one of those old
They show
school.
anything?
It was one of those old school after dark softcore Cinemax porn movies.
So they did show. Did they
Oh,
show
yeah,
Pam did?
and oh, yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
man. Maybe I'll
But
have
it's
to
an
look
old
that up.
school it's an old school Skinamax, like, after dark movie
Yeah,
where
those are
it's a
always good.
movie. Yeah, it's a movie, but with,
Yeah.
like, softcore sex where you see a lot of tits
That's
and
fine.
grinding and
That's fine.
ass, and that's it.
Yeah.
And this is peak Pam Anderson.
Yeah.
This is her first movie.
Yeah.
Right after being a Playboy bunny, it's like, damn. And, the acting is terrible. The main guy is the guy from, Scarface, Tony Montana,
Yeah, yeah.
right-hand guy.
Mhm.
But you know what? It's not terrible. And if you wanna, like, give it points for, like, the TNA, I had a good time with it.
I'll watch it
But
next. I'll pick it up next,
'cause
Thanksgiving when
it
it's
was like
on sale.
$5, dude. It was like
Yeah.
nothing.
Next
And let me tell you,
Thanksgiving, it'll be
it
5
just
bucks.
brought back memories of when I was a kid. Like, this is the
Oh,
kind of movies
yeah.
I would watch after dark just for the TNA. And like and so it just brought back a lot of memories. Anyway, I got distracted. Look, okay, guys,
He gets his
why did
glasses. "Du, du,
he
du,
puts
du,
he
du."
and he puts them down. No, not today. This will remind you of the time I shot his son in Guatemala. But why
Oh,
do they all like sunnies? Why do they all like the sunglasses, dude? I just
I
don't
don't
get it.
know.
You'd think they'd be all drastically different if they're different machines. Like what if this Arnold, he's acclimating, right? He what if he found a gay guy? His relationship's not built physically. What if he just shacked up with a gay guy and he had to learn to finger blast him, like I said. He's got to get the job done. He can't physically do it. But Arnold can't get wood, but Arnold could finger blast. He could figure out if he could do the research. I got to keep the
You're
marriage
giving him too
alive,
much credit, man.
you know.
I think he's, like, comatose. He just sit in his chair for fucking 12 hours a day or 24 hours a day, man.
Watching football, dude.
Well, yeah, something. He's watching knitting or something, I don't know.
How do you know I wonder if there's ever moments like I want to see that movie. I want to see him take Mateo to Little League. Was there ever like moments where like first of all, when he gets shot, this is gonna be very hard to explain to Alicia because he's a robot, right? We've seen what it looks like when he gets fucking mangled. He obviously never was in a situation where he got really mangled, or else he'd be found out.
He's hanging out in the woods, man. Yeah, he would.
I know, but he goes to a doctor like, holy shit, you're bone, dude.
Yeah.
Don't you have to go to a doctor? There's a lot of like holes in this logic of she never. But that's why I'm so interested. But it's kind of lazy writing too because like if they were to extract that, it would never really happen. Like, there's no way. But I want to figure out how they justify it. How did she never? I want to see that movie.
So I'm looking up this director, this, Tim Miller,
Yeah, Deadpool.
and yeah, of course, Deadpool. Um, he really didn't do anything after this, Terminator Dark Fate. He did Love, Death, and Robots, a TV series in 2019 after this, but that was it.
Well, he'll do more.
You think so?
D- Yeah, I mean he did Deadpool is such a huge movie. He's gonna work, but I don't think he didn't do Deadpool 2, right? Did he not get hired?
No,
Wasn't there like
he didn't do Deadpool.
I think there
Deadpool
was
2.
fr I think there was some friction between, like, him and Ryan Reynolds. It's possible he's tough to work with, and him working with
Yeah.
James Cameron. James Cameron doesn't seem like he's easy to work with either, and there's probably just who knows? It might be one of those things, but hey, so we got, this whole scene's cool. There this guy, this people were saying, like, when this movie first came out, "Oh, that's Miles Dyson's kid growing up," but she's got a random contact in US intelligence, in the military, that is just like her confidant because she's an international like a criminal, but she has this guy she meets up with who gives her information, who's hooking her up. They don't go into the backstory, how they know each other. I think we're just supposed to assume that he knew about Skynet and he knew Sarah
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
fucking
No,
crazy,
I
and
could accept that. I could
and
accept
he knew
that.
she was, but somewhere along the way, he met her.
Yeah.
So and he puts his life on the line, fucking helping her out, but he just got he just got blasted away.
Mhm.
Oh, he kinda looks like Billy Blanks, dude, right?
A little
Just
bit.
Tybo. Yeah, this whole sequence is cool. They're gonna and we're this whole scene's gonna be all action in a minute, and then are we gonna be at the part where they're underwater yet or no?
Getting close. So, yeah, they're getting on the, jet or not the jet. They're getting on the
The
fucking
helicopter.
military,
Oh.
no, the military
Oh,
plane,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
I
that
love it, dude. He's still in the Carl's Drapery van, just hauling
yeah,
ass. So, how do you think the
the
technology with the Rev
C5.
how does the technology with the Rev 9 work? It seems like when he's separated, when his body is separated from the he's weaker,
He's weaker. Yeah, yeah.
you know? So, I
That's when you wanna go after it.
it's like a video game
The
boss vulnerability.
T1000 slash then you can get the T800 as well, so, yeah.
Yeah.
If you could take one of them out, then you have a pretty good shot at, actually defeating him, but which, yeah, I think's cool, man. I mean, that's
No, it's cool. It's cool. It's like a video game boss where everything has to have a vulnerability. Just like the T1000 had a vulnerability. Extreme heat is what they found. You know, everything's got to have like a weakness.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah, this is where the movie gets at. But we have a lot left, don't we? It's pretty much action from here on out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, I don't know. Yeah. This is all very reminiscent of T2. When I think of the helicopter and I think of the cop helicopter and stuff like that. Yeah, I like all this stuff because it reminds me of T2 with Arnold and stuff like that. I like him. Yeah, actually kicking ass, doing what he does. And we got to see him not bond with Sarah, but he protected Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those things where she's got to like, oh, I gotta, team up with my enemy to face a greater enemy.
It's got a
But
new person
towards
in the chat.
I think he's calling you Baldy.
Oh, thanks, appreciate it, man. You wish you could have this hairline.
I think it's awesome. This is like as a throwback, dude. Just blasting his face, dude, because he did that to T1000, like right. Blast
Yeah.
his face a lot. I like this whole setup. It's really cool because this is what I want a Terminator movie to be, man. I just want to see. I love this. He just bum rushes his ass, and so there's a point here where he knocks him down, and Sarah, oh, the car's gonna, no, he's gonna get taken out by the van, dude.
Mhm.
But honestly, Sarah could probably knock him down at this point, but she helps him up.
Yep. Well, she knows she's gonna help him.
Well, she doesn't help
Brother.
him up. He gets, but he doesn't. She doesn't take advantage. She walks away,
Well, she's
and
talking about killing him earlier, so
yeah, yeah. Well, they need him.
yeah,
And they're gonna
absolutely.
need him because he's the only one that can keep the Rev 9 down and that. I don't understand the logic, like, "Oh, I don't know what that reactor is." Like, "Oh, this thing will kill him." Like, my
Yeah,
brain doesn't science.
I know because
They just expect you to
yeah, they went to, the plant or whatever, God, where did they go?
they got some arc react I don't know, they don't explain it, like, "Hey, this guy seems almost immortal. Let's get him in this reactor. Let's use her fucking, heart or whatever," and it doesn't make we just have to, like, leave our brain at the door, like, "Alright, whatever science, that killed him."
They went to the
But,
fucking Hoover Dam or something.
some kind of generator, maybe? I don't know. Desperately trying to relive T2. It is. It's definitely a safe movie and, but kinda like Romulus.
This is or Romulus is way better than this, dude.
Romulus is a better movie, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is this movie plays it safe. It's not like 3, they got experimental. Salvation, they did something different. Genesis, I keep telling Todd that, yeah, Sarah Holmes is a nice lady. I think we should do I think Todd should watch Genesis. If Todd found some, like, mind-numbing value out of this, he might find some mind-numbing value out of Genesis because Genesis definitely feels like they got a couple of like Terminator hardcore fans in a room and said, "Hey, make your Terminator wet dream script now." And
I'll watch Genesis. I still haven't seen Genesis, so I will watch
because
that.
it's just a mind fuck. Like I
Yeah.
said, don't compare it to the first 2 because, like, you're not gonna like it like that, but it's like a what if movie.
Mhm.
It's they send Kyle Reese back because it's 1984, but they've recast everybody, which kinda makes it a little weird. But they send Kyle Reese back, played by Jai Courtney, to sort of do the 1984 thing again. But what they don't know is they fucked up the timelines with all that bullshit in T1, T2 or whatever, and that there was already another timeline where a T-800 came back in the past and tried to kill Sarah when she was a little
Oh,
kid.
they have a T3000, they have a T5000, they have a T1000. I That's crazy, dude. They have all
What are you
that?
talking in what movie? Genesis?
Genesis.
Oh, I don't remember what they're called.
Yeah.
I don't
Jason
remember.
Clarke is,
Don't look up that
T3000.
you're gonna see spoilers, dude, don't. I'm telling you, don't look up that shit.
Oh,
You're gonna
okay, so
don't look
I'm not okay,
don't look up that shit. I want your reaction when you watch this movie. Yeah, looking up the credits will spoil shit, I
okay.
promise. Don't do it. Yeah, but it gets really convoluted with all the models and shit like that because it's just, who gives a fuck anymore at a point.
Yeah.
Hey, this is where we reveal that which I don't know why. She's like, "You told me. You saved me. You were the one that saved me from those fucking savages. You told me not to tell you because you said the you from back here now wouldn't understand. She wouldn't be able to handle it, but I
This
think you can handle
flashback's
it."
terrible, dude.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is this is like right after. This isn't long after like the time period they're in now. You know why? Because at the end of the movie, when she walks away with Sarah Connor, she sees the little girl in the park with her family,
Mhm.
and they're like the fucking same age. So this reality where she's like some hardcore badass with cornrows, this is like a year after like where she is now. So the fact that she just turned on a dime and went from like to just fucking a badass, it's just so wild.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, who would take her seriously? She's like, what, 5'2", and she's n not threatening at all. I couldn't imagine following that girl. Hell no.
Mutineer, I should actually watch one of these past T2. Look, I'm always gonna be super curious. If they come out with another Terminator, which they will, they're not gonna abandon these franchises, folks. So you might as well just hope for the best that they actually make something kind of fun. But I find it hard to believe that they can't make an amazing Terminator film with
Yeah.
like you have what you have at your disposal to work with. There's a great fucking story there somewhere. You could easily do an awesome future war movie. So I don't know why they keep messing it up, but I'm always going to be curious. I'm always going to be curious and watch an alien movie. For better or worse. Yeah, no, I just don't see it. She's no Kyle Reese, man.
Not
It
at
was
all.
you. You couldn't face it. And she comes off a little lesbian, not gonna lie.
Oh,
Like she kind of was.
absolutely.
Like
I was
because
thinking that the whole time too, man.
but Kyle Reese loved Sarah,
Yeah.
right? Kyle Reese loves Sarah. I feel like there's probably a similar dynamic here too. Like I love you, but they should have had their sex scene.
Well, they didn't have a whole lot of backstory between these 2. I mean, they were friends,
That
but that
that
was it. I mean,
that would have made it a better movie if they would have had a lesbian sex scene like in T1. They copied that too. Well, now with
Linda
Grace.
Hamilton will be sitting there smoking a
Yeah,
cigarette watching, dude.
she's in the cuck chair, dude. She's in the cuck chair watching while Danny gets finger blasted by Jonathan Taylor Thomas here. I don't know. I no, you have Carl sitting by the window on lookout while they're doing their fucking thing.
He's like,
Linda Hamilton
I
smoke.
know now why
No,
I know now why you come. Something I can
dude,
never do."
and he wipes the pre off the dickhead. I know why you come. It's something you could never do. He's like on his knees. Oh,
Uh,
Linda Hamilton be flipping her bean, dude, in that chair, dude.
oh, absolutely.
So gross.
She'd
That's a roast
she'd
beef
be
sandwich
into
I
it,
don't want,
man.
dude. Oh, that's some loose hanging meat, dude. I don't want that's a wizard sleeve if I ever saw one. My God.
She'd be into it, man.
This is what Kyle did to me. He wrecked me in one go. He literally ruined me for other men, dude.
Damn it, Kyle.
That's funny. Anyway, they have no passion for it beyond yeah, exactly. If they gave somebody with serious passion, they gave a real hungry writer out there that really loved this series, even if you gave it to a few. Dude, like, if you had the money, can you imagine you could get 10 people that want a real shot at making a big movie, that
Yeah,
are hungry filmmakers, that are fans, and you hire them all to write a script, and the winner gets it. Somebody's gotta have a good idea in there.
you would think.
Somebody's gotta have a good idea in there. But there's too many chefs in that kitchen. There's too much money. There's too many people, like, eh, that it you probably can't. That's, I think, what happens to all these movies. Maybe not this one because it's Cameron, but a lot of these movies, man, you watch them. Whenever I see a big budget movie and it's got fucking 15 writers, that's trouble. You know, you got a million fucking, like, nameless producer credits. That's not good either.
So how did
Um,
this do in the theaters? I'm gonna have to look this up.
it bombed. Here's the thing.
Completely
It bombed.
bombed or what?
Listen, it bombed because they were in this era of all these movies costing 300 fucking $1,000,000. Now, if they would have did the smart thing and they would have made a grounded, they should have went back to T1 and made a grounded smaller movie, but
Yeah.
like T1. If they would have made this thing cost $50 million, it would have
Mhm.
been a massive hit. It's just how much they spend on it. Because all these studios are pumping in money to where they can only make a profit if they make $1 billion, which is like this new normal, which is gross.
So this is saying it was a budget of 185 to
Yeah,
196 million, but
damn,
the
$200 million.
but the
And
box office was 261 million.
yeah, that's not
So it's
good.
worldwide. Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
You have to make 2.5 times your budget
Yeah.
to actually break the black. So if this movie was $50 million, it would have done almost 5 times its budget and been a big hit, right?
Yeah.
It's how you look at it, man. It's just they spend way too much fucking money on this shit.
Did you watch this on theaters or no?
Yeah, I went with, the lady. It came out, during, this is 2020, right? Pandemic?
2019.
Oh,
So
was it
this is like
2019?
right before the
Before.
pandemic.
Yeah, but I went to the theater and we saw it. I think we saw this, like, right after Rambo 5. They came out
Okay.
at the same time. Yeah. I saw the T3 trailer in theaters and the whole audience immediately turned on it. You could just smell the cash grab. No, I agree, man. And the fact that Arnold did it was like, come on, man. I mean, was that his first movie before he became the Governor? That was his last movie. Then he
Yeah.
became the
Yeah.
Governor.
Mhm.
But Arnold at the time needed a hit too.
Yeah.
Arnold had, like, his star this is when he had done Collateral Damage. It kind of started with, like, a racer, dude. I feel like in the late 90s, Jingle All the Way, I love. I don't
Racer
know
was
if
shit, dude.
yeah, but Eraser was like 97,
Yeah.
and, but then you started, like, in the 2000s started to roll around. You had films like Collateral Damage and stuff like that, and he just, he was dropping in popularity, and, there was diminishing returns on his movies, and so I felt like he was kind of in that, like, prison for about 5 years. T3 came out, and T3 was a hit.
Mhm.
I don't think it was I don't think it was like T2 big, but it was a hit, and then he became the Governor, and I I just think it's always gonna be about money. After this, though, then he would said, it's so funny. He said, "Would you ever do another Terminator after this?" He's like, "I only do a Terminator if Jim Cameron calls me. I do it. Only Jim."
Ugh.
But it's so funny because he says that after he said no to after he did a movie without Jim in 3, and
Yeah.
after he did a movie without Jim with Genesis. Then it's like, well, you've already fucking done it, like, a couple of
Guy
times.
needs some money though, man. You can't blame him. I mean, you can't blame the actor that you know?
But what's the difference, though? This is a James Cameron vehicle, because I know he didn't direct it, but we all know he basically directed it. But he didn't direct it, but he was on set. He wrote it, he produced it. He was the last line of defense with this. Why does it not feel like a James Cameron movie then? Now, are we to assume that there was enough of Tim Miller in here to where it didn't feel like James Cameron?
Probably.
Or look, he's punched him underwater. We hadn't seen that in Terminator movie before. I'm fine with it. But, no, or does James Cameron not having his name on the director net line, even though I think he probably was more of a director, does that just kinda protect him from, like, not having it anymore? Like, "Oh, maybe he can't do these movies anymore."
I don't think he had much to do with this as a director,
Why
honestly. I
not?
mean, he probably had insight to it, but he just wanted the money, dude. which I don't blame him.
he got the franchise back. He got it back,
Yeah,
Skydance acquired. But no, I mean, Tim Miller's been on record saying, like, they butt heads all the time. He was checking everything.
I
He
don't
was a
know. I don't know how much
dude
he cared about this.
dude,
Tim Miller is probably saying that because
James Ca
he doesn't want to fall on the sword, dude.
James Cameron was checking dailies, dude. You know he was every
Really?
day. Absolutely. He was everything was going through him. Like maybe he wasn't doing all the legwork, but he was yeah, absolutely. He had it under his thumb. And that's the
Oh
way
my
I
god.
believe it. I believe it. He's got too much pride and he wrote it. This is his script, this is his story and he produced it. This is his money. This he was it was under his thumb.
Mm.
He just didn't want to put in like the 9 to 5. But he was there every day. He was kind of part-time. Like, "Hey, I'm gonna let you be
He
the
too worried
full-time
about
baby."
Avatar, dude. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I mean, 100%. But I'm just saying, like, I wonder if it really would have been that much better if he were the guy with the director tag. I don't think so. Because he hasn't done a movie like this since True Lies. Because think about it, since like the mid '90s. So I don't know if he can make a movie like this anymore. I don't know if it would have been much better. James Cameron, some of his taste is kind of sus. It's like he made great movie because Titanic's great, but it's not Terminator.
Yeah.
He made a Titanic movie. He made a period piece, a love story with Celine Dion. It didn't necessarily feel like Cameron either. And then of course he spent the last 20 years just devoted to shitty Avatar movies, which don't feel Cameron either. So it's like I don't know if he could I don't know if he could do much better than this. I think this is James Cameron's. Like I don't think it would have been any different. And I feel like why don't they get I don't know. Did he not get the original guy to do the score? Because it doesn't sound like
No, I don't think they did it all, man. I mean,
it just doesn't have a Terminator. I mean, it does and it doesn't in parts. It's missing something. It's like Terminator through a modern filter. But I feel like they could have got the same composer back and they could have did this and that. And um, I think they should have given Eddie a shot, dude. Had Fat Eddie in this movie. I think it'd been awesome.
well, yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, bring him back for a little bit.
Dude, he worked for just like day rate.
Yeah,
And
what do you think that was? Like maybe like 50,000 or what?
oh, I don't know. No, day rate. I mean, no, he probably made more than Scale. I think Scale's like fucking $300, like an extra. But he came in, and I remember he got asked about it in a convention. He said, he wasn't trying to shit on anybody because like he needs to be in everybody's good graces. I think he was saying like, hey man, I'm just happy to get to work, man. They brought me in, and I did a days of work, whatever and they probably paid him enough. Like I don't know, maybe they gave him like $10,000 or something like that. But you know what? I would have invested. I would have been like, I would have sat that fucker down. I like, first of all, James Cameron, I was summoned in my office and he would have come in and I would have been like, Eddie, sit down. I almost didn't recognize you. Fuck, man. Have a seat. What'd you do to yourself? I said, here's the thing. I went back to see if you had the chops. I watched some of your movies. I liked Detroit Rock City. I liked it a lot.
Oh,
I
it's
liked
great.
American History X. I'm James talking. Don't respond to
Oh,
me.
okay, okay, okay.
Fucking Jim
Yeah,
Cameron,
yeah.
bitch. I'm talking to Eddie here.
All right.
Stop breaking the illusion. Delusion. He's
Hey,
like,
well, this an illusion? Yeah.
listen. Then I started going deeper, Eddie. Night of the Demons remake. I watched Zombie King with you and Corey Feldman.
Oh,
You
God,
weren't
that was
impressing
shit,
me.
dude. That
But you know
movie's
what?
fucking
But
shit.
hey, I'm talking to fucking Eddie here. Who is
Yeah,
this asshole?
yeah. It was great,
Listen,
Eddie. It was great.
but he would say, I'm gonna give you a shot. I think you can still do it. I think you're just fucking coked out of your mind and you got chiclets for teeth and you're just taking the easy paycheck. So why not invest? They have more money than God. Just give him like we're gonna get you a trainer. It wouldn't be that much to pay a fucking trainer to get Eddie in shape. He would probably still work for peanuts. Pay him like 50 grand. Pay him 50 would. At this point, I would too. Dude, if I was in Eddie's position at that
Yeah,
point and James Cameron actually called me back after doing Zombie King and all these shitty fucking red box filler movies, I'd be
yeah.
like sucking his dick. Yeah, I'll do it for free. Just put me back in the limelight. Give me my shot. They should have invested, wrote him a good part, did something a little closer to what I envisioned because I know what I'm talking about here. No, and then like, hey, we're gonna get you a trainer. We want you to get in shape. We're gonna give you a fucking shot. get your shit together because we want you to have a nice big scene in this movie. You're gonna die, but unless you want to be a 9-year-old PS3 deepfake, get your ass in shape because that fucking 5-10 minutes of screen time you're getting is more than you've had in fucking a coon's age.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Hey, it's Brad. What's up, Brad? What's going on? 4K tent revival.
Is that Brad?
Yeah, the award for the worst Terminator movie goes to.
How do you know it's Brad? I don't know what.
Oh, he's a YouTuber. He's a YouTuber. Yeah, he has his own channel, and go check him out, man. He has some good shit. So him and his boys have a YouTube channel. They talk physical media. So
Oh, cool. You don't talk to Cameron, you listen, unless you know how to fix his newest submarine. I, look, I just the story goes that Eddie Furlong was cast in T3. He fucked up because that's when he was at his worst. And Eddie Furlong wasn't on the outs just yet because think about it, American History X was what 2000.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
like a career high for
yeah.
that's a
That was a
huge
great movie,
movie,
man.
and that's like 2000.
Yeah,
So we're talking about in 2003, Terminator 3 comes along. He's doing like Detroit Rock Cities. He's not on the outs yet, and he gets hired. I think I read that they had him. They started principal photography, but he was just on the fucking junk, man. And he was just like he wasn't showing up to work. He was late, and they had to fire him. And that's why I appreciate when you watch him on like Michael Rosenbaum's podcast and whatnot. He's extremely transparent. He's at least he's not one of the. Maybe he went through that phase in his life where he blamed everybody on himself. I don't know. Maybe he's gone through better help and therapy, but but at least now he's at the stage where he's like, "Oh man, I fucked up.
yeah,
I fucked up.
yeah.
It is my fault, man. I don't blame anybody but myself, man. I'm just happy. I got my son. I'm happy, man, and simple pleasures. But I'm happy to work. I fucked up. It was me, man. He went through that 12 steps.
He
It's
did.
like,
He did.
but so good for him. But that would. I always thought, dude. Ever since I read about that in 2003, I'm like, dude, how how does he gotta feel? Whenever I would look at Eddie like a few years ago when he started like showing up, like, and I saw when I first saw how he looked, I'm like, oh man, my boy. I'm like, dude, to be in his head for 2 seconds,
He's
like,
looking rough, but
how would
he's
you,
starting to get his life together, man. I mean,
but
he's
how would you, no, but I would look at him and I would think, what would it be like? What would you do if you knew that you fucked up T3? You got fired from
yeah,
T3
yeah.
and literally someone took your job.
Mhm.
He was never John Connor again.
Yeah.
Because the last Terminator movie was T2 and he was John Connor. The natural thing is to bring the guy back. And you got fired because of what you were into, and you never got hired again. Like literally, he never got hired for another big production again or as John Connor. Because think about it, John Connor's huge in that movie. Like if that was Eddie, I wonder if that would make it a more enjoyable film, T3, if you were like had Eddie for all. Probably.
Yeah.
I think it would because you cannot look at Nick Stahl and think John Connor. Not for a second. He just does not feel like
Hell
John
no,
Connor
dude.
at
No.
all.
No, no, no.
It's just it's like it's really hard to dissociate. Like I can't. This is Nick Stahl. This is because Eddie Furlong is John. And today, to this day, there
Mhm.
has been he only played him once,
Yep.
twice if you count the 3D experience. But literally, you've had one, two, three, four, five if you count future John Connor from T2
Yeah.
with the scar. You've had like five people play John Connor now. Like in Eddie Furlong, he's only played him once, just like everybody else, but he's still John Connor. And so I can never look anybody else that's ever played. You can never look at him. So I often wonder if he would have not screwed that up and he would have gotten that part in T3, what it would have did for his career. It would have bumped him up again after a couple of because he wasn't too far gone yet. Because like I said, American History X, he was still getting a little bit of
Yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
You're just kind of like down and out for a year or two. That could have propped, and he would that was a starring role, dude. He is in that whole fucking movie
Mhm.
with Claire Danes. It's like the whole thing. And I'm like, dude, that could have been a really good opportunity for you. And actually, the whole crux of the story, what makes it so interesting to watch is we just got done watching T2 where he bonded with John Connor. He's like, he'll never get drunk and hit him. He'll never leave him. Right. They're giving high fives. That's the whole movie. It's this arc about him becoming this father son thing. And then that's supposed to be the big catch of T3. Like, oh, now it's this guy that doesn't. Wouldn't that have been more potent if it was Eddie Furlong?
Yeah,
Because it
it'd be cool if he actually did get drunk and hit him though in
no,
T3.
yeah, yeah. No, but you listen. But the what they did in 3 with them doing the total switch on this being a new T800 and being an asshole and changing the dynamic might have worked if Eddie was still in the movie. Because we see the John Connor that we know from T2. We see the
Mhm.
kid that bonded with the Terminator that we knew before, and now we see the same actor with this new Terminator. But when it's Nick Stahl, who doesn't even feel like John Connor, is like clashing with this, it doesn't mean anything to me because that's not the Terminator that had a nice relationship because that's not the kid that I knew from T2. You know what I mean?
No, I understand what you're
And
saying.
I know that they wanted Eddie Furlong in the movie, so it's his fault, but the whole thing fell apart.
Too many crack rocks, man. I mean,
I I
poor
I
Eddie.
think it could have been a lot more fun with Eddie. I really think
Absolutely.
I think I it could have been the same movie with Eddie, and it just because you would have had him. Look, when you have Nick Stahl talking about Sarah Connor in the past tense, and they're going to get her coffin where there's the guns and shit like that, and all that stuff would have felt more like Terminator if it was Eddie
Yeah.
talking about Sarah Connor, and it was Eddie talking about "You're supposed to be my protector. What the hell?" Right? Because that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
It
I
just
totally
it
get
just
it, man.
fucking fell apart, and it drives me crazy. If I could go back in time, like the whole what ifs, I want to see T3 with Eddie. I wish there was like an alternate version of
Yeah,
reality where
no, that's what I was hoping for, man. Make it that much better. I mean, I'm not a fan of T3, so
Uh, so hold on. Dark Fate or Genesis for worst? CGI Arnold is pretty bad in Salvation, not sure. Well, I think this is an unpopular opinion, maybe, but Salvation is the worst.
see, I never saw Genesis, so I Salvation's not good. And this one
Look,
is not great, but it's not the
look,
worst.
look. This movie's fine. It's a popcorn movie. It's funny. It's fine. I could add this. Believe it or not, this is like the fourth or fifth time I fucking watched this movie. It's insane, right? Insane. But because I mean, I watched it now. I watched it in prep for the commentary. I watched it a few nights before and I watched it in theaters. And I think I watched it.
Yeah.
I technically somehow watched this movie like 5 times.
It's
But
it's a 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10.
you said 6. I think 6 out of 10 is totally fair.
So I had
It's
the option of buying it for a dollar more, but I chose to rent it because I didn't want it in my library.
I call bullshit. Yeah, Mendoza, right? He does look like Bon Jovi. She does. She does. Sorry.
She is totally Bon Jovi, man.
You think she's got a big clit? I do. I feel like she's got I feel like she went stroking it in that cuck chair, dude. Like not flicking her bean. She would have been like, I don't know.
Oh god. She's
She's
a
a handsome
cowboy.
woman.
That's for
She's a
damn
handsome
sure.
woman. Uh, yeah, but anyway, I was gonna get back to this Dark Fate or Genesis for worse. Yeah, I think it's Salvation. I Because Salvation to me commits the worst crime and it's boring. That's the worst crime. I'll take goofy, I'll take silly, I'll take fucking fantastical and yeah, right. What the fuck is this? Over boring me to tears. And
Mhm.
Salvation is boring to look at. The characters are boring. Everybody takes themselves way too damn seriously. Christian Bale takes himself way too damn seriously for that fucking role. And it was during this period where everybody wanted to make PG-13 movies. It's a
Yeah.
PG-13 movie. So that's the
Was
worst by
Genesis
far.
a PG-13 movie or no?
No, no, Genesis isn't. I, um, I don't think it is. I have to watch Genesis back to back with this
S
because honestly,
I've never seen
what
Genesis,
when
so
I
yeah, I
saw
need to watch
Genesis,
this.
when I saw Genesis, my brain was already rotted to death from like all the bullshit Terminator had gone through. When I first saw Genesis, I have to be honest with you, I'm like, you know what? This is the most fun I've had since T2. Like I at the time, I have to rewatch it. I would actually rather watch Genesis than T3 and Salvation
Yeah, that's
because
PG-13, man.
is
Genesis.
Genesis. Oh, is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, so this was the first one to be back to be an R.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny is,
It's not really an R.
yeah, does this really earn an R?
No.
Is there where's she's fighting a CGI robot. Like where's the blood?
Mm, and we
And the
didn't see
kills are like
Linda Hamilton, full frontal or
we
anything.
didn't see that rod, dude. But yeah, where is it? So maybe there's some swearing. That's kind of a cop out though, like a couple swears, like oh, you had two f bombs, you get the
Yeah.
R. But okay, so I didn't know that. Okay, but I can honestly say when I watched Genesis, I'm like, you know what? It's a giant fever dream. It's a fan's dream where they just you get to kind of relive all these like scenes from 1 and 2 blended together. It's kind of fun if you just check your brain at the door. Look, okay, so look, Danny Ramos getting all tough. This is where she got it. She stabbed this thing in the eye. Somehow it's magnetized to this thing. I don't really know what's going on. But all I know is the T-800's got to pull his ass into that thing, and only the T-800 can. Well, I guess it makes sense because they separated the two bodies, right?
Yeah,
There's got yeah, because that's like the weak one. That's the skeleton. That's the nerve, I guess. So maybe that's the one that can't like fucking disintegrate and go crazy. I don't know. I kind of like the science behind what the potential of what the Rev 9 is.
it's better than the TX. The TX
The
sucked.
TX, they just tried to take T1000, but made it mechanical. Like now it can do knives and stat. It can do complex
That's
machinery.
why I didn't like that's why I didn't like 3, man. 3
The
sucks
the
because of that.
T1000 couldn't. Why doesn't it just turn to a bomb?
Yeah,
Cannot form complex weapons, knives, and stabbing weapons only.
yeah.
Yeah, but the TX was basically that. It could do like fucking keys and shit.
Mhm.
Okay, but so here, the big finale, they're trying to recapture the T2, like that sentimental moment where it's like I order you not to go. I know now you cry. I know it's something I can never do. Lower me with this and the thumbs up. They're doing it here too. They're cueing the music, and he says for John as he
Oh, it's
like
terrible,
disintegrates
dude.
for John. Which, by the way, she would not be able to hear him because he
Yeah,
just said it under his breath.
yeah.
And there's probably so much noise down there. Look what's going on down there. So I don't know if she necessarily even heard it, but it doesn't matter. The fact that he said it.
Poor John. Yeah.
I he's like fossilized like fucking Lena from the Mario Brothers movie. You ever see that? Where
Yeah,
she's like
yeah.
blasted into the wall. uh, but the heart's there. I mean, they tried, but it doesn't hit like why it doesn't hit? Because they had that John connection, the little
It's
boy,
power
dude.
down. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think Linda cares. She's like, I've been through this like 3 fucking times now. It doesn't mean that much to me. I've seen him die.
I'm with Mendoza on this. The huge, piss flaps, and that's Linda
God, dude.
Hamilton, dude.
Can almost smell it now, dude. She probably constantly always smells like piss because she can't wipe it, dude.
Piss and cigarettes, dude.
Sick. Gross, dude. I don't want to think
I
about
don't
that
know
anymore.
what everybody else think about this movie in the chat.
I think it's inoffensive. I mean, it is what it is, man. It's
Yeah,
just look, it shits on the franchise. It because the fact that look, Genesis, it wasn't Cameron, it was a cat. It's just, I can accept that more as like, all right, this is just some writers having a good time, and I kind of like that. Like, whatever, I don't take it. It's like when you watch read those like novelization people that read the Star Wars novels, they're
yeah,
totally canon, whatever. But it seems like that. It's like they had to run Terminator novels, like side stories.
yeah.
It's what it feels like, and I'm like, you know what, I can jive with that. And this movie, it being Cameron, I find it more offensive though because look, dude, he killed Eddie. He killed a CGI PS3 Eddie, like literally a
Yep.
month after he fucking saved humanity. Like, did that mean nothing? And so they're gonna get off and they're gonna drive off into the sunset. I don't know if they're gonna les out together. I don't
She's
know
still
what's going on
rolling
here.
in the Jeep, Wrangler there. Linda Hamilton.
Yeah. Sometimes dead is better. Absolutely. In the case of these movies,
Yeah, you hear the
nothing compares to T1 for me.
yeah.
Uh
T1,
I think
T2.
T1 and T2 are both great. They're different movies though. Not unlike Alien and Aliens. They're different animals. Cuz T2 is nothing like the first one.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously I don't have to tell you T1's more of a slasher movie. It's like it, it's got those old school Canon vibes. I know it's like Orion, but it feels like kind of like a grimy Canon movie or something. And it's a horror movie. And I
mhm,
love I like how all the movies had a different take on the theme. The first was more industrial with the metal sounds, da-da-da, and the synths and stuff. And then, as you go on, it gradually becomes more like orchestral and stuff like that. There's just something primal about the first one. But the second one's a totally different type of beast, man. There is no better blockbuster than T2.
did you watch the first one in, the 4K? It looks amazing, dude.
You talking to Brad or
You.
you talking to me?
Yeah.
Are you mental? Get the net. You know we've talked about
Did
this a
we
million
talk
times,
about
man.
this? Okay.
A million fucking times, and it was on our fucking best of,
Oh, okay, okay,
2024.
I
It
can't
was
remember,
both on our
dude.
list.
How am I supposed to remember this shit, dude?
I told you when I watched it. I told you when I got it. I brought it up on the podcast after
Okay,
I watched it,
okay.
and then it was both on our 2024 top lists for the same
I didn't know it
reason.
was on yours, I know it
I
was on
watched
mine.
I watched every day. Todd, get your head checked, dude. I'm worried
Yeah.
about you. Jeez, you need to take some fucking on it,
Hey,
dude. Some alpha brain.
wait till your kid's born, dude. You won't remember shit, dude.
Why does that have anything to do with it?
God, man, it just fucks your brain up.
I don't think so,
It
Tim.
it
I think
does.
I'm gonna
It does,
I think I'm
man.
gonna remember. I remember stuff. I remember stuff. T1 is the king. Look, the older I get, I put T1 on its on an equal mountain, but they're just different. One's a baked potato, one's a sweet potato. They're both good, but different.
They're both good, man.
One's a blockbuster. One is a fucking gritty noir sci-fi horror movie,
Yeah,
and the on a pretty on a it's budgeted, right? They had to use a lot of. I love how they made T1 the use of like miniatures and perception on like tiny objects, old school stuff. But blockbusters doesn't have to be an ugly term. I think it's a genre all in itself. I miss the early '90s days of like blockbusters were king, dude. Jurassic Park and T2. T2 is that it's an event movie. T2 is the greatest event movie of all time. That's my
I remember
opinion.
my dad bringing that home back on, VHS. So I never got to see that in theaters, and he's like, "Dude," he's like, "Hey, not dude, but kid, you need to check this out." And I was blown away, man.
Your
Back
dad called you kid?
Yeah.
Kid.
Well, I can't remember what he called me back in '92.
You can't even remember what you had for lunch, clearly. You're like,
Hell
you got
no,
kids.
dude, I can't remember shit.
Uh, you got 5 kids to feed. Alan picked T1 4K as his number 1 of 24. Apparently solid bonus features and a great scan. Haven't seen it yet.
Great.
It doesn't have good bonus features at all. It has good features, but they're all rehashed.
Yeah, they're rehash features, but the
They're
scan is awesome, man.
the
It's really
scan's amazing. The only
Yeah,
reason I was on my list is because the scan was just so phenomenal. It was just one of those it's one of those retro titles that come out and it feels like you're watching it again for the first time.
I had
Like
0
all over again.
expectations what or
It is. It's
yeah.
one of those titles where it's like, wow, this is like watching it for the first time all over again. And but the bonus features for the most part, they're all from old versions, the Blu-ray and stuff. So they're all just kind of I mean, there's good features on there if you never seen them
Yeah,
and you didn't have the Blu-rays or whatever, but it's the same. There's nothing new if you did. But what else could they have? You know, there's cool featurettes and shit on there, but it's
they
just
had the mono
not new.
track, I think, which was, big for
Yeah.
some people, but yeah, it sounds good too.
It's really, really cool. Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, it's been real. Hopefully, you guys had a good new year and everybody was safe.
Yeah.
And let us know. I have to let so next week, not gonna do anything next week because I'm going out of
Oh, you're gonna be
town.
gone. Yeah, okay.
I gotta go home to Missouri to the Midwest during the week that they're gonna have a fucking polar front, just like
Yep.
the blizzard
Foot of
sweeping the whole
snow, yeah.
crazy, dude. Like, well, I could sure pick it, but um it's not that I wouldn't. I actually would like to because I'm gonna have nothing but time on my hands. Because you know I'm just there to spend time with family. When you're there for like 7 8 days or 7 days and you're just in that one house, eventually you're gonna find a couple hours to be with yourself. Like, okay, I'm done watching Fox and Friends, Grandpa. I'll take a break. You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the reason why I say is network. I don't know how good it is. I did Batman Returns a few years back from my grandmother's house
Oh,
when I
really?
visited.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't have my setup there. I mean, it's not that I couldn't. It's just um who knows? I'll let you know. If I feel like doing like an impromptu stream, I'll kind of let you know in
Yeah,
advance if you
maybe
want
we'll
to
do
hop.
something. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, but we'll keep it there. Last but not least, let's see. Mutineer T2 is fun to watch, but I've not seen it since 91. T1 is in regular rotation. Yeah, I mean,
Rewatch
they're
it, man.
classic.
It's good, man.
T1 I mean, T1 by today's standards isn't very long, but I think if T2 I'm sorry, T2, I mean, I think if T2 came out today as an event film, it'd be like fucking 3.5 hours because
Yeah.
everything's just getting longer and longer. But back in the day, T2 felt like a long movie. Like that's the longest the movie got. And it just it goes by so fast.
Mhm.
It's so just digestible. It's so great. There is not a dull moment in it. But, anyway, we're gonna leave it there, guys. On that note, please, like and subscribe. If you wanna support us, we do have a Patreon. Join our YouTube membership. One thing about the YouTube membership, next month, at the end of February, I'm leaving for Japan. I'm gonna be in Japan for a couple of weeks. I thought about doing some blogging,
Do it, man.
doing some
Do it.
fun stuff, but that's only gonna be membership videos.
Alright.
So you guys are gonna have to join that, cup of coffee, it's all it is, a couple bucks a month, but I plan on doing some vlogging and, I'll take requests too. I wanna try and go to some interesting places and, try and, capture all
Don't
that,
take
but,
Mendoza's request because he might, want you to
where does he want me to go?
uh,
The red light district?
maybe something about, your mud flaps. He probably wants you to show that. I don't know.
I don't have piss flaps, that was Linda Hamilton,
Oh,
dude.
okay. Oh, yeah, that was Millennium. Hamilton.
Those piss flaps.
Okay, whatever.
Good lord, get some sleep. Mud flaps, like, what is oh, guy why would is my prolapsed asshole? Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what my mud flaps would be?
Oh,
Alright, guys.
man.
Again, thank you guys. Drop a comment in this video once it goes up for everybody, on Monday. Help us out with those algos. Share us with your friends. All that stuff. Be excellent to each other. Bye-bye, puppets. Bringing that back.
Later.